Dang, Eric. Oh, is this thing on? Hi, I'm Jeff. Welcome to Spice Runners Lounge.
Hello there. This is General Kenobi. Hey, this is Davis from Black Spire Broadcast.
Hey, I'm Todd Freeman, also known as Toad.
Hey guys, Appleton for Collectibles here.
Well, hey, I'm Seth with Rogue Squad Garage.
Hey, it's J2SO.
Hi, I am Mark. Welcome to the Spice Runners Lounge.
This is Joel Hossie at Hossie Customs.
Hi, I'm Jason.
Yo, this is Evan the Collect.
Yo, it's your man Flex, and you're watching the Spice Runners Lounge.
Hey, this is Brian from Brian Makes Dioramas, and you're watching the Spice Runners Lounge.
And you are watching the Spice Runners Lounge. And welcome to the Spice Runners Lounge.
Welcome to Spice Runners Lounge.
And welcome to the Spice Runners Lounge.
Welcome to the Spice Runners Lounge.
And you're watching Spice Runners Lounge.
Welcome to Spice Runners Lounge.
And welcome to the Spice Runners Lounge.
Welcome to Spice Runners Lounge.
Join me and together we can rule the galaxy.
Hi, welcome to the Spice Runners Lounge.
It's a trap!
Welcome to the Spice Runners Lounge. We have technical difficulties every Friday night.
Look, we just lost Jeff, and now he's back.
I was like, what happened?
Get Andy back in here. All right, there he is.
Andy?
Welcome, everybody. Thank you for being here. So tonight we got a special guest in the house, Andy Meyers, a special effects artist, worked in Stan Winston Studio, has his own business, Special Ops Customs, does 1/6 scale action figures, dioramas. He also creates weapons in the Star Wars universe for sale. So we'll talk about all that stuff tonight here on the show. So welcome, Andy, to the Spice Runners Lounge. If you can hear us.
He's also muted.
Yeah, so he's muted.
And
it's all good. Oh, we lost. It's all right. So if you're brand new to the show and you've never been here before, you're here for Andy. We drink on the show. We play music. We play sounds. So you'll hear like random sound effects. By Scotty Keys. That means take a drink. So we haven't picked a word tonight. Normally we do that behind the scenes, but we're troubleshooting. So we'll let you guys come up with a word of the night tonight. Mm-hmm. So while you guys are thinking about that, put it in the chat. We'll go around the room, say hi to everybody. Scott, how you doing today?
I am doing. That's about it. Dude, I don't know what it has been, especially today. Today was just like chicken with your head cut off.
Yes.
Ding, ding, ding. Last minute meetings, all this stuff. It was just crazy today. And then, of course, as Janine will tell you, her iPad finally said, nope. And we had to do an emergency iPad. So, whatever that means. But yeah. Other than that, I think I'm okay. I think.
Hey, Andy's back. Again.
He's back.
He's back. J2SO, how are you, sir? Get it off.
Good. Very good. Tired. It's my boss's birthday today, so we all started drinking at noon on his dime till like 5. So
nice.
I came home and slept until the show started.
Oh my.
Oh man.
Everybody's birthday.
I'm here, baby.
Birthday. You get a birthday. You get a birthday.
I know, dude. That's awesome. That's a good boss, man. Sounds like an upgrade from the last one.
Yeah, for sure.
Medina Lorian, welcome to the lounge, dude. It's been a minute. How you been?
Man. Good, man. How you doing?
Good. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me.
I'm back again. It keeps kicking me off.
Yeah, it's probably the weather where you're at. So we'll leave you there in that spot. Hopefully it doesn't mess you up. But welcome, Andy. We did a small introduction.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah,
yes.
We hear you.
Yes. There's a major delay if you guys haven't figured that out. So
that should be the word of the night. Can you
delay?
The phrase of the night. Can you hear me?
Yeah. We will be drunk.
Jeff, how you doing, man? Nice background, dude.
Yeah, rearranging again.
Hell yeah, that looks awesome.
There you go. And every time Andy disappears, you have to drink.
There you go. That's a good one. That's funny.
That's actually probably a better one. Yeah. Save that. Autocorrect says, "Can you hear me?" No. It's like now.
So making an appearance once again, the Niner, aka Janine Berry.
Hi.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you
The
guys for
original
having me again. Excited to be here.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Oh, we're glad to have you. Uh-oh.
Maybe you can keep Scott in check tonight then.
No.
From downstairs.
Oh, just in time.
Hey.
Flex.
The myth, the legend, Flex.
dude?
What's up, Elijah?
What's up, guys? And
Hi.
gal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, our guest is having some technical difficulties. So, what are the words of the night? Delay and something else?
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, there you go. There it is.
Told you not to call me
Okay.
Gal, also Elijah.
Hear me now.
That's
So
in
let's see what's
private.
up,
Only in private.
We're waiting for Andy.
Yeah.
Let's see who's here. What's up, Joe? JMC.
Joe.
Hey, Joe.
Got Whitey in the house. We
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, Whitey.
got Guru reviews. Looking forward to it. Got Koi Ha. Oh yeah, it's Friday. I've been pre-gaming because it's been that kind of week. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
and I think we've all been pre-gaming. It's been a rough week for me. I was already at 50 hours by like Wednesday, I think.
Woof.
Jedi Shizzle in the house. What's up, dude?
My nizzle.
What up?
Roadhouse. What's up, Roadhouse? Got the enabler in the house right here, Santino. I got a sound just for you right here.
I got a bad feeling about this.
Yeah, that works. I like mine better.
You're a feisty little one.
It's not a competition.
Not a competition. Let's try that again. There we go. Okay, Andy's back.
Janine playing double duty. Got on scruffy looking stone.
Triple S.
Hey, bestie.
Our favorite AT-AT driver.
That's right.
Got Billy in the house. What's up, Billy?
What's up, Billy?
What's up, man?
Got Izzy67. What's
Izzy.
up? Ooh. Got Chris Elliott. Hey, peeps. What's up? What's up, Chris? Got Dirge Designs in the house. What's up, Spice Runners? Happy Friday. Got Trent, Bestman
Keeps
guy.
kicking you off.
Yeah, you have a delay.
No, get down.
Yeah, there it goes.
All right.
Or the night.
All right, so we got John in the house. What's up, John? Welcome. Millennium Workshop. Oh shit, what's up, dude?
Nice. What's up, Rex?
Yeah, he's been killing it. We got Dan in the house. DMD. Welcome to Spice Runners Lounge.
What's up, Dan?
What's up, dude?
We got Rolando Flores in the house. Hardest working moderator on YouTube.
Rolando.
Nelson Santos, Functional Fed in the house. Nice. Welcome, dude. Got Todd Freeman, aka the Toad.
Toad.
Been a bit. Apologize. I think he's been stuck at airports. This.
I haven't seen him in a while.
Right?
Yeah, he's been on travel. M. Kaz, what's up? Let's see. We got someone on Facebook that says word. I have to
Word.
go over there later and open that up.
It's
So
one of
word
our
back to you.
FUs.
So yeah, so in Facebook, if you're watching from Facebook, and in the body of the invite, there's a StreamYard thing on the bottom that says share your name to StreamYard. Go ahead and do that.
All right. It's one of our FU users.
Got Eric in the house. What's up, dude? We got another
Hey, Eric.
user that says, "What's up?"
What's up?
What's up?
We got Better Said. What's up, Better Said? Happy Friday, good.
What's up?
Duff and Dioramas. What's up?
Tough man.
We got Matt Collections.
Hey, Matt.
What's up?
So you got McFly in the house. What's up, McFly?
Bye.
You got our buddy Chris in the house. What's up,
Yeah,
Chris?
Chris.
So, Chris?
Hi, Chris.
Got Jeff in the house. Got
Double
Flex in
Jeffs.
the house.
Double flexes.
Hi.
Tony
Like, oh.
Mark.
and Death Star.
Hey, what's up, Far From?
Not this crazy week with a good show. Begin the weekend. Hell yeah.
Hmm.
Got Tyler Berry. What's up, dude? Room's coming
Dude.
along great.
Was that your phone, Janine?
Yep.
Okay.
Enzo in the house. That wasn't my phone. What's up, Enzo?
Hey, Enzo.
We got Guru Reviews. We got Henrik in the house. What's up, Henrik? And it's late for you. We got Legacy
Jens.
Arts. What's up, Jens?
Yeah. What's up,
Creating
brother?
a life-size Java diorama in
What's
Texas.
up, Jens?
Oh yeah, the stucco.
Yeah, so Yeah, thanks everybody for being here tonight. Oh, Facebook.
I did. Janine, you need to mute that phone.
I just muted it. It's my Instagram.
Instagram. Queen.
Solo Bones. Hey, Solo Bones is jumping up.
We'll be sitting on the couch, and all of a sudden her phone will just start going off like that. And I'll be like, "What did you do, woman?" She's like, "I just posted a picture."
What's up, Felipe? How you doing, man? Sure.
If you guys are going to fight on the show, then...
No. Fight.
You guys next to each other so you guys can look at each other while you're fighting.
There you go.
Let's see, Andy's back. So yeah, we've been having some technical difficulties, but we'll get through it. So so let's we said hi to everybody. We came up with the words.
There you go, babe.
Andy, are you stable or how you doing
Tyler.
over there?
How are we doing? Andy, come on. Let's all pull together and make his internet strong.
I know, right? So while we're doing that, so Joe's not here tonight. Joe might pop in a little bit later, but it's his birthday.
Happy birthday, Joel.
Happy birthday.
Dude. And
Nazi Customs.
since he's not around, let's
This is Joel Hazy, and thank you for joining us at the lounge.
That's my favorite video of all
Yeah,
time.
I know, right?
I'm on now.
Appears out of nowhere and goes right back in.
There it is. There's the famous shirt.
And then since Joe's such a swell guy, it's his birthday, and he even made a giveaway. So now I'm looking for the pictures for that. I got so many places I can get messages from Joe. So give me a second before I go home.
Right.
All right. So give me a second while we're doing this. I'll find them. Man, too many things to communicate with.
Yeah, before it was just mail or phone.
Right? Or I'm like, all right, did Joel message me on Facebook or Instagram? I got the picture somewhere.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
I'll bring that up later. So,
I like it.
Joel he made a quarter scale Tauntaun head for the giveaway. So while we're talking, I'll look for the pictures later. So let's just get this started. I think Andy's having the technical difficulties. So I think he dropped off a few times.
Yeah.
So we'll catch up with Andy in a few. So I'll just start the weekly pickups from the Facebook group. So thanks everybody that's been participating in that. It's freaking awesome. You guys are sharing your weekly pickups.
Yeah.
So this is the thread for tonight. So I'll kick it off here. Got the Regal Robot Gaffy stick.
Dude, so nice.
So cool.
That thing is dope, dude.
It really is.
It's freaking humongous too.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez.
You smash any watermelons yet with it?
Oh, not with this one.
Very young.
That'll be an expensive watermelon smashing.
Yep.
Yeah, but I hung it on top of I hung it above the Han Solo.
Yeah, come on.
I need to add some background to that thing and make it pop some more. Santino said he put this on his list. He hasn't got it yet. So that's a cool piece. I know some people didn't like it, but it's everybody's.
I thought it was cool.
Opinions.
The only thing that threw me was the lean. I think it was the lean that was kind of questioning.
Yeah, pretty good.
The sexy lean.
I worry about it over time. That's my only thing, right? I mean, how much more will it lean?
Yeah.
I'm sure that the Han and carbonite is made out of plastic, so I doubt it's going to lean anywhere.
Yeah.
Right. It's probably light.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Star Wars Addict 88. Jeff's distant cousin from a far, far world.
What's up, man?
What's up, 88?
What's up, 88? There we go. That's it.
And Henrik picked up the Qui-Gon.
That's I just got to quit posting, man. Every time we post, I'm like, damn it.
That's a real nice piece. Yeah.
BMDs?
I think so.
Yeah. It's one of those things. You watch these threads and you're so excited for everybody, and then you get depressed and angry and usually.
And then Michael Black got his Hyperdrive 2 tubes exclusive, so that's cool.
Nice.
Yeah, once it's in hand, dude, show some pictures. Curious how that came out.
Yeah, I was gonna say they look like the
promo shot they used.
Yeah. He took, yeah.
And Sean Hamilton picked up a Nasaj Ventress.
That's a cool piece.
Nice.
And the sign plaque.
And the plaque.
What's with the
There we go.
tauntaun in the comments?
Okay, he also snagged a sideshow tauntaun.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh,
Good for him.
That's
That
a nice
is
piece. Yeah, I think it's beautiful, man.
Got swap out head.
Yeah, I think,
I think there's a
Lux.
Luke on
Oh wow. Okay.
broken
Yeah,
tusk.
Dubak has this one. That's cool pickups, man. Travis Butler started collecting joys here and scooped up Hot Toys BBA being delivered today. Nice.
That looks
That's
good.
really nice.
That looks really good.
These are pretty cool because there's like a balancing thing in there, so you can like spin it around,
Wow.
and the head like stays intact. That's pretty cool.
Oh, sweet.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, Simon Farrell, this thing is awesome.
Nice.
I want to know which one that came from because I mean his collection and his taste of how he wants things, not to mention his clapperboards and the stuff that he does, is just phenomenal.
Really?
You go through his stuff, yeah.
Well, he's an artist too, so he has his perception of how things should look. So I like it, man. Like I got his clapperboard. I think it's awesome, dude.
Yep. Yeah, we witnessed that firsthand last Saturday.
Oh, at
How an artist sees things and does stuff, and it's quite phenomenal.
Oh yeah. So Henrik also picked up this jazz diorama piece.
Nice.
Dude.
There you go, Jeff. You can fit that into your DiAgostini.
Yeah, shit. Dude, that is huge. You can see him back there in the doorway.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't notice that. Yeah.
Right?
Oh, jeez.
Damn.
Monster.
Wow.
That thing's awesome.
Wow.
Awesome.
If you have the space for it, that thing is definitely something worth picking up and displaying. Well, Mike Costa got was it XM Studios again?
Yeah.
My question is, because I think Mike's awesome at what he does, but I want to know how many times have you owned that before?
Yeah, I was lucky to buy this like when it was like live and online when it first came out. I'm like, I'm never selling this sucker. The thing's nice.
Yeah.
That's a dope
There's a
piece.
sleeper too, man. Not a lot of
Yeah,
people
it came
pick
out of
it up.
nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
And which one's this?
It's the first job, or that could be the Hasbro.
Is that the new Hasbro one?
He says it's really nice for 110.
It says
Okay, so it's a
110.
1/10. That's
that's Iron Studio.
Iron Studios,
Yeah,
baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. Looks good. That's a good paint job.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know which one you wowed.
That's what
at,
I need to
Coy,
get.
I'm
I need the
sorry.
smaller one. The other job was huge, man.
Yeah, but the big one's nice.
Oh, I
Right.
love it, but it takes up a lot of space.
Yeah, size does matter.
Yeah.
I'm going to try that line. I'm sorry, it just takes up a little space.
Notice how Janine's laughing. Christian got the 40th anniversary Emperor. That's a dope piece.
Oh, that's cool.
Looks
I
like they
what
put
they're
it in
doing
a nice
online.
box.
Yeah.
Right? They didn't bend the crap out of it.
Right?
Brian and he's probably like pissed off seeing this. He's like, "What?" Oh, Jeff. So
did
talk about what you did here, Jeff.
Oh, so I followed George's lead. George was the enabler on his show the other day. So I was like, what? They got a lightsaber drive. I'm like, that'll go perfect in my Sith computer. So, but it's funny because every time I post the computer, everybody goes, "You know, you have this computer." I'm like, yeah, it's bad. So, I'll have to do like a whole posting on Spice Runners on the computer. So,
damn, dude.
Hey, Logan.
That's so good.
I think it's massive.
Yeah.
What's up, Logan? Thanks for joining, dude.
How much of a footprint does that computer take?
This thing is huge, dude.
little one.
probably the size of a Besta, like the base.
Base?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
probably
big.
23 by
humongous.
23. Yeah, there's not a lot of room in there either because you can't put the large graphic boards in it.
Yeah, because it gets smaller as it goes up. Hence, it's a pyramid. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Looks good, dude.
Yeah. I like
Those-
it. It looks
those,
like a
uh,
lightsaber.
Those cases are awesome. Oh, Felipe is working on his scratch build Batwing, and this thing's freaking amazing, man.
Beautiful.
Scratch build.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, scratch build.
Yep.
Everything he does is scratch build, man.
He's the one that we first saw do a 1/6 scale snow speeder. That thing's huge. You could wear it as a costume.
That's freaking cool.
What scale is that?
I think it's 1/12.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Still,
that's awesome.
Still huge. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good work, Felipe. That thing's amazing, dude.
Mm-hmm.
What Chris said. Chris says he ordered his JJ Industries Beskar. Nice. Oh, and Dylan picked this up. Oof. Nice piece right there, man, with Carrie Fisher's signature.
Wow.
I think he's pairing that with that Bausch helmet too from RS.
Oh, from RS.
I would think a lot of people. I mean, that's the first thing I thought of. I've been wanting that thermal detonator for a long time. Even George said, "Hey, I want it now too." But the thing is that once I got that Bausch helmet, I'm like, I need to have it now to pair with it.
Mm-hmm.
It's you just have to have the piece. So
that's awesome.
So Andy says he's gonna try to log in from his phone. So hopefully that's better. Let's see. Oh, Jeff picked up some of these plaques from Etsy. These things are dope, dude.
How big are those, Jeff? Because they look so cool.
Yeah, they're about. So the guy does a whole bunch of them. I mean, he does like pretty much every like logo or whatever you can get on Star Wars. But I guess he makes them with like there's a little bit of metal in them too.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, they're about 10 inches.
You can see them behind him there.
Yeah, they're right here.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
The
That's
same
pretty
size
cool.
as the ones I made.
I like these. These are really cool
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Jeff, you said they were wood, right?
Yeah, they're all wood.
Wow.
They look
looks
metal.
like metal.
Which
Like
is
stainless
awesome.
steel, like stainless steel.
Yeah. Yeah, they're really
What's
good.
Oh shit, Joey, what's up?
What's up,
Hey,
Joe?
Joey.
So what were the words of the night again? I'm trying to remember.
I have no idea because we probably need to change them because I can't remember. Yeah. We had this and it was just a joke. Hey, can you hear me now? What should we change these to? Think about it.
Yeah, think
All
about
of you.
My drink's getting lonely.
There you go. Everybody just drink for the hell of it.
Mandatory
There's still
tax
lots
for
of drink.
everybody.
I like Santino's comments on my stuff this week too.
There he is. Can we get him back in?
Also,
Speaking of
There he
Andy.
is.
so this is something we're going to talk about a little bit later.
Wow.
Dude, that's so cool.
Oh yeah, and this is before the chroming process.
Yep.
Wow.
So we'll talk about that a little bit later with Andy.
Yeah,
Hey, Andy, Chris.
I get kicked off again.
Oh, nice. We can hear you.
No.
It's within a couple seconds. Nice. Gene.
No, that's me.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Nice. This thing is dope, dude.
Seriously. Seriously.
Mm-hmm.
So who painted it?
Both of us.
Both. Nice.
I started it, and then Scott did like the second coat.
I was like, "Oh, we need to do this," and Santa. She's like, "Nope, I ain't got the time." She starts taking it out, and I'm like, "Damn, it looks good."
Exactly. I think it looks amazing.
It
looks
does.
You guys using a
amazing.
rattle can on it or airbrush?
Yeah, that was
No,
rattle can because
just
it's our
rattle
own
can.
color. Yeah.
Wow.
Joel Hazy way. He rattle cans
But-
everything. It looks phenomenal. It's crazy.
It does.
Right?
It really does.
Wow.
And that was a
Yes.
gift.
Dude.
Solo Bones.
That's cool. That's
That's
really,
so
really
cool.
cool.
The realistic hair on Han Solo is pretty cool too. It's kind of creepy.
It is,
Right?
right?
Well, dude, I mean, he nailed Chewbacca's face.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, and it's like, go back to when we had him on the show and he was talking about the Stormtrooper helmets and how much, I mean, they look like out of the movie reel, not a hot toy.
Because they have the imperfections, the littlest paint chips on the 1/6 scale. You're like, damn, dude.
Yep.
Yeah. It's wild how much talent's in this group.
Right? Of these people.
So much talent.
Yeah.
I remember when he showed us the Jabba, like the real life Jabba that they were
Yeah.
gonna use. I mean, it looked freaking real.
Yeah, Mike Costa picked up the EFX helmet.
That's right. He
Yeah.
said he didn't care. He decided he liked it even though he owns the RS one. So, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, congrats, dude. And then Kyle, I think he picked up Joel's, this from Joel.
Yeah.
Wow.
So which Leia is that one?
Is that the one you guys got? Or
Yeah,
That's the Mr. Toys one, I think.
yeah, it is. It's the same one we just got.
The one we call the $159 Leia.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then Jeff called her creepy.
It is creepy.
Why is it creepy?
Well, she comes naked in the package for starters.
Does she have nipples?
No.
Okay, see, then it's not so creepy.
But it, yeah, when you have to take it out of the package all naked and stuff, yeah, it's kind of creepy.
That's funny. All right, keep on talking, guys. I'm gonna send Andy
Trying to
link.
put the clothes on her and stuff. I'm like,
Wife comes in. What are you doing?
yeah, what are you doing?
Playing with my dolls.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Relax. I'm just trying to put these.
Why is
boots
that
on.
one naked? I don't want to talk about it.
Exactly. Why is the monkey laughing? Yeah.
What's the monkey?
Someone's jumping in.
See if we can get him.
Yeah, Kyle picked us up. Nice.
Oh, happy birthday,
Happy
to
birthday,
the you.
What's up, Joel?
Happy birthday to the you.
Can you hear us?
Cool, nice response.
He's hanging out at
What's
Andy's
up?
house, apparently.
He's over
Hey,
there.
Joel.
What's up, birthday boy?
Oh, my internet might be shit house.
Oh, no.
No, it
that's,
is.
how he
Not
talks,
again.
that's how he sends voice
Not
messages.
much. I don't know how well the internet is here.
Hey man, happy birthday, bro.
Happy birthday. So
you. Happy
Joey,
birthday.
the Padawan collector, picked up some Ahsoka sabers at ICCCCCCC.
CC's.
Nice.
There we go. There's an Andy.
Rosario and Ashley X.
Can you-
Yep.
Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Oh,
we
that's way
can.
better.
Yes.
Way better.
This is really weird. My phone works better than my computer. So
No, it's
Anyway.
not weird.
Works.
Your image is better, too.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Image is way
Yeah.
better.
Awesome.
Way better.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so right now we're just going over the weekly pickups from the group, and then we'll just hop over to you, and we'll go over, Andy Meyers and what you do, man.
All right. Well, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it, and
Absolutely.
I'm glad this works now. I can hear you guys now. Before on my computer, it was just like bits
Nothing.
and pieces.
Right. You're constantly going.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Hence the words of the night that we were just playing with.
Right?
Give me a chance.
So Miles picked up this vintage Kenner Rancor. That's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is
Mine
neat.
doesn't look like that. Not anymore.
Doesn't look like that?
Mm-mm. He falls over.
Oh,
Mm.
I'm gonna have to do something cool with him.
put some putty on the bottom.
Throw some glue in someplace.
Hey now.
Can you peg the feet?
Hmm?
Can you put pegs on the bottom of the feet, maybe?
You know what? He's like more top heavy than anything else. You can tell just by looking at him. And because
but
he's
it-
top heavy and he's older, everything is just, worn out.
Loose.
So he just tips.
What's up, Jenny?
I could
that's
make him
part
a
of-
walker.
Hey.
Right? That would be cute.
Hey, I can make anything.
Nice.
So TK Dan's custom. We got
Oh my
some
Go
God.
ahead.
bucks.
See, that's
60 bucks
creepy.
for that, dude.
I'm sorry, that's creepy.
Mm-hmm.
He's kid bashing his.
Wow.
That's
Wow.
cool.
Excuse me.
So Dan Lee picked up this piece. This is a cool piece.
That's
is
a
a cool
great
piece.
piece. That's,
Nice.
that's hard to find too. No one
That's
wants to
pretty
sell it.
neat.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great piece.
Hell yeah.
There's actually I saw one Evan of that statue's in what the hell's the name? I'll think of the name. It's a comic shop in Orlando, more by where I was on. No. It's
No, I think I know what he's talking
It's
about.
comics?
I forget what it's called. It was like I think it was like $950 or $1,100 or something. It's
What
they have like a zombie theme or something.
Exactly. That,
Yeah,
that
Monsters and
he prices
Monsters.
everything is because he doesn't want to sell it.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
been there, like, a
Everything's
couple of
super
times,
good.
and I'm like, dude, I'm like, I'm trying to buy it from you, and he's like, nah. He's like, I don't want to sell it. I just keep it here so I don't have to keep it at home. I'm like, okay.
So Gods and Monsters, maybe? Yeah.
That's what it is. Yeah.
What is it?
Gods and Monsters.
Yeah, that place is expensive.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Is that how that works, George? I'm gonna open up a store tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tax
I
write-off.
swear. Just go to
Picked
work.
up the Legacy Saber. That's dope.
That looks cool. I like that.
Yeah. Like when I used to come with those discs.
The problem with that store is he's got so much stuff in there that the things are just like on top of each other. It's hard to see.
Yeah.
Well, dude, he used to have that old one at Artagon that was the biggest comic shop I'd ever seen, man. It was huge. And then they had to downsize, and he went to that little corner room that he's at now, and that's well.
So he needs to sell at better prices so he can properly display things.
Right. So James picked up a MYC ATST.
Ooh,
Damn,
nice.
dude.
Nice.
That's a cool one. I wish I had jumped on that. You guys all jumped on it. And...
Oh, that's a dope piece.
Yeah, man.
Oh, Matt Hess. I got some Dave Boudreau art. You got the.
Oh, yeah,
Hey, Luke.
That's cool. What's up, Luke?
So beautiful.
Yeah, I love that piece. Nice piece. Oh, Star Wars bloke.
Yeah, I
What's
want
up,
to.
dude?
I want to grab his Tuscan to go with my bust. I have
Oh.
Tuscan piece he did.
That above the gas stick. That would look nice.
Mm-hmm.
Matt Hess. Oh, you got the R2. I didn't even know that was already.
Did this R2 come with the 3PO head, or did you have to get the battle droid with it to do that?
No, it came with the head.
Oh,
See,
sweet.
it's like getting Grogu with every figure. All of them come with an extra head. Yeah,
You
Yeah,
can
that's
see
that
the
20th anniversary.
That's cool. That's a cool piece.
Oh, you can see more of it there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty awesome piece. Has a
I like
controller
the
so you can turn it on and off. Makes
Oh,
sounds.
really? That's cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's cool. Oh, someone finally broke down and got this, huh?
Yes, in a trade with Joel, I was able
Joel,
to finally,
yeah.
finally
Nice.
get, dude. I mean, who doesn't want this figure? I just took a while.
Oh, decent. Came up this
Dude,
week.
I got this on eBay for $120.
Wow.
It's the exclusive.
That's cheap.
Congrats, man.
Yeah, I was just watching in the wings. I was like, let's just go for it. After fees. I think it was like $145.
Not bad.
But it has that crappy undersuit, the old school undersuit. So I might swap that out for the other one. But yeah, that thing's sweet.
Very cool.
Then your
So
wife will
good.
come in and go, "What are you doing? And why is he naked?"
And got this
that.
one.
Oh,
This was
yeah,
a great line,
Also-
dude.
Dude, this thing's huge, man. Look at this.
Weighs like 100 pounds.
Dude, my wife's like, "What did you get from Amazon? That's so heavy."
Wow,
yeah,
that
this,
thing is
so this
massive.
is still up.
For $40, right?
It's up for 60 now. This was 40 on Wednesday, but if you want it, it's $60 right now. It's usually 170,
Wow.
Wow.
and this has like
Wow.
all of this tippet stuff. But also I got this on. I was surprising you guys. This came yesterday finally.
Hey.
Oh,
Hey.
nice. Dude, that's
Some young guy. What's it called?
Samo I Love Art.
Yeah.
Last
Small
seen
Love Art.
Jesse helmet.
Wow.
So
I think it's
That
weather.
looks great.
Looks good.
yeah,
Put
dude,
it
the
on.
You're an
quality of
artist.
the-
You're an artist.
Paint.
About that.
Dude, this is great. The quality of paint and like the application is great. It's lightweight. It's like the ABS plastic style.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty
Oh yeah, it works.
Nice.
Wow.
works. Yeah, dude, this is sweet.
Yeah,
It
dude.
took a long time to get though. It took like 2.5 weeks, but
Well, I probably have to go through the Ukrainian blockade to get here.
yeah.
Mhm.
$60 is still good for that book, man.
Dude, yeah, I
It
just
is,
told
right?
my friend and he just ordered one a couple minutes ago.
Scott, did you order one?
No.
God.
That was your hint.
Loser.
Yeah.
That was a hint.
He also has
It's like,
a birthday
get on
coming
it.
up.
I have a birthday coming up. But
you go.
Brian's older. Just remember
That's
that.
right.
Brian's older.
Fuzzball.
By a day.
So Matt says it's not really a pickup, but he put some shelves up to display his master replicas. Man, that's looking good.
That looks really cool.
Nice.
Hell yeah. I love me some master replicas. And David picked up this rare piece here.
Dude.
That's a nice piece.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's a beautiful piece, but being there at his place, once he shows it in the shelf, you have no idea how big that thing really is.
It's huge.
It's massive.
Yeah, I did a FaceTime with him yesterday, and I didn't realize how big that sucker was until I saw it.
Is that a sideshow?
Yeah, it's Sideshow.
Did you see the yak face?
Yeah, dude.
Dude, that thing's massive. It's about the size of Janine.
Yeah.
Wow.
Even
'Cause I'm massive.
No, God, because no.
What?
Redo, take over.
Oh, so James he unboxed his ATST. Yeah, I love this piece. Michael
So
killed it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Joe Hazy. So Joe Hazy. So
quarter
Still there,
scale.
Joe? I don't know if we dropped.
No, he's right here. He's here.
So tell
There
us
he
about
is.
this, Joe.
No, you're muted on your side or something. No audio.
My
I
bad.
think you froze.
I just redid the head on this and did the base. I redid the base, made it a little more friendly.
How do you make it a little more friendly in the base? Put a
Well, the
smile
base
on
was just
it.
huge. And,
Yeah. Candy.
I did some pouches, redid the pouches and stuff.
Nice. It's
Yeah,
badass, dude. Your work is always
Looks
freaking amazing.
Yeah, a lot of details.
Oh, thank you.
So Andy, you didn't get a chance to meet Joel on the pre-show, but he's the one that does all the 1/6 customs, and he's moved up.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of his work. It's fantastic.
Oh, thank you.
Yes,
Reminds me of
yes.
It reminds me of back in the 80s, I used to do stop motion. So we had a lot of little figures like that.
Stop motion's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's almost a dead art. Back in the 80s, I did a lot of that.
So that's that one.
That's your true
And here's another shot.
Very cool.
It gives you an idea how big it is if it's sitting on a regular stool like that. You know?
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
That's
big in
huge.
size.
Well, that's the thing. A lot of people will like post pictures of things. You're like, wow, it looks amazing. And it does look amazing, but you have no idea the scale of it until there's really something there to reference it or to get an idea how large something is, you know?
Yeah.
It's almost halfway up that door.
Right?
And since Joel created that, he upgraded his head. He's giving away this one tonight.
Yeah,
Wow.
so I left the cracks in the paint there to make it look a little more nostalgic or keep the nostalgia to it.
Dude, it looks awesome.
It does.
Oh,
I'm loving the plaques you're doing too, man, with the signature.
Thanks.
So we'll be doing this giveaway a little bit later tonight.
Yeah, that's on a Lazy Susan.
Damn.
That's cool.
It's
What size
huge.
is the Lazy Susan?
Foot.
Damn.
Yeah, because it is quarter scale, right? So that thing's probably...
Yeah, that's a quarter scale head.
Yeah,
Wow.
So,
That thing's probably
That
like
probably
what?
stands about 12 inches tall, maybe.
Well,
yeah, it's crazy. Do you have a fuzzy tauntaun?
Good, man. A lot of details. It's freaking amazing, dude.
Yep.
So
Awesome
we'll
giveaway,
we'll
100%.
do that giveaway a little bit later. So let me get back to the Facebook group. We're almost done there.
Oops, where did I go? I keep hitting buttons.
So Joe got this.
Oh yeah.
Oh, wow. Dark crystal.
Yeah. From a lady in France. There's only
Wow.
2 that exist.
Oh wow.
That looks amazing.
I'll be right back.
Yeah.
I'm going to check on my German Shepherd.
All right,
Okay.
Andy.
Okay.
What size is it? What scale, Joel?
So it's not quite 1/6 scale. It's I don't know. It's its own scale. It's
Okay.
a little shorter than 1/6 scale.
The detail's great. It totally looks like the character.
Oh yeah, she knocked it out of the park.
Wow.
Wow.
Did you guys see this question, Whitey? Does Flex get scrolled in the giveaway?
All right.
If you're on the
yeah.
panel named Flex, you're not allowed to do it.
Mhm.
And Izzy Mel.
Man,
Is
that's-
that
Izzy's
George
doing
in the
a good job
morning?
with this.
So the earlier one,
Oh.
Luke's calling
that-
you out.
that Veers looks really good.
Yeah, Izzy's been killing it with his customs, like his
Mhm.
true building.
All right, everybody drink just for the hell of it.
Okay.
Yeah, we need to come up with some new words. So in the chat, come up with some words.
Hashtag something.
Hmm.
Hash bag, do bag.
I know
Now
one of
that
them.
Andy's back, we can do models.
Models and effects.
Models?
Yeah,
X.
Models and effects.
yeah. Now that he's back,
Okay.
so let's see.
Yeah, those are good.
Yeah, Izzy's are dope, dude. Look at that. Tasha's a little
And
mad.
dog barking.
You got Joel making some more Ewoks.
Yeah, finish that baby
So
off.
there you go.
Damn, I didn't even like
Dog
I didn't
barking.
even notice the thumb. That's freaking awesome. Do you even put details into that?
Dog barking.
Yeah, that's cool.
I'll change it.
My buddy.
My buddy.
You can make him up my buddy video.
Yeah. So now, here you go. Is that better?
This guy has all sorts of stuff on him. Man, you did all the beads like in one sitting?
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, another killer piece, man.
Right?
A lot of details, man. You did a good job.
I remember there was
Yeah,
a
someone
collection
already asked
wars
me
about.
how much I wanted for it today.
Yeah, wasn't there a collection
really?
wars about beads? Something about Ahsoka beads?
I don't know. I missed that one.
Oh my god!
This is the rifle that I made for my Tusken Raider.
So that's 1-to-1 scale.
Yeah.
Nice.
Would you use
It's older than me.
the stock?
It's a 50 cal musket.
Oh, no way. Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
No, that was him. He's the one that triggered that one.
Max.
Yep. Yep.
I recognize those pieces.
Yep.
It was from R2 or
Yeah.
Java.
Yeah, I thought that'd be fancy there.
Yeah.
Sails
Nice.
barge. There's sail barge connectors.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool, dude. You got a real scope and everything. So is it a working gun, a rifle?
No,
No?
I
No.
didn't put any of
No.
it. I just a lot of that stuff is a bunch of parts from the printer.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it looks
Pretty
good,
cool.
Right?
Thank you.
dude. And then Joel's work. He was working this week.
Yeah, I put some stuff out for the show.
Yeah, he looks good.
Flux. Hey, good trigger, Max. That was perfect. Oh no! What did you do now?
What was that, Scott?
I don't know.
Looks awesome. And this is like a telephone cable, right?
Yeah.
That's clever, dude. You got Sean Kuntz not sure if I'm keeping it, but JJ Industries Book of Boba Fett pack arrived.
That looks good.
This is the
That's
same.
really pretty.
This is the same gentleman who's awesome to deal with the Bausch helmet. That's where I got it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, same guy.
That really looks beautiful.
It does.
That is nice.
It's not a cheap piece, but it should be
Right?
because it's that amazing. Yeah.
I like the little
JJ
bit
does
of
a lot of good
sliding.
work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it looks like a really nice paint job.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
It's beautiful.
Beautiful.
And that's JJ Industries?
It is,
Correct.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he does great work.
Oh yeah, amazing work.
Yeah.
Oh, and Jeff got something. I don't know if let's see, does it have audio? Am I gonna get
Oh,
booted
this
tonight?
is sweet.
There he goes.
Oh, you have it muted. That's why.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Some of these songs will turn us off.
Of course.
It has Thai swoosh sounds.
Oh, does it? Okay, I can play that.
Yeah, when you
That's
open
cool.
the box.
That's cool.
That's awesome, dude. We're just already looking online. He's like, okay, I need to get that one.
It is pretty cool.
Didn't Janine got a Ahsoka necklace? Didn't it play something on the box, or it just lit up?
That's neat.
That is sick.
And of course, she's not in the room. Never mind.
I wouldn't even be able to tell time though. That thing though.
Freaking cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, this is one of those watches to tell time. It's like showing it off.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's
That
cool.
is
I see
cool.
the hands and stuff. Yeah, that's badass, man.
And you got Morris's signature. Man, that's like so rare, dude.
Well, that's a digitized one just with Ariel.
Oh,
So
Oh, okay, digitized.
Oh,
yeah, they're
looks
too rare.
great. Looks great.
So
Dengar.
So Jeff, you're going for the whole bounty collection now, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, he's committed.
Happy and sad at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. So, he's really good. I love him.
I love that gun rack.
And he's
behind him.
good. What scale is he? Is it
He's quarter.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because when you picked up the guns, you're like, oh wow, those are pretty big.
Yeah, like he fits in the best of. But yeah, I mean he's standing almost the full length of the best of.
Wow.
So how tall is he? About 14 inches?
No, he's a little taller than that. He's actually
18. Should
on
be
the
about-
base.
Oh.
Yeah, he's like just under probably 20.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a big figure.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
See, Andy got this. Is this 1/6 scale or is this like a Hasbro figure?
That looks like the
That's
real
1/6.
hero ones.
Yeah, real
Medicom,
action
isn't it?
hero. Yeah.
They're a tiny bit smaller than 1/6.
Looks good though.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, Joel's back. Let's see what he got in here. Ooh,
Hey.
work in progress.
This one
Nice.
has hands and feet.
Yeah.
Nice.
That looks great, dude.
It does.
Oh shit.
That looks good, dude. Let's see. Travis, what he said. He started his tech bucket. I forgot he can enlarge this stuff.
Oh, that's sweet.
That's cool.
Oh man, he's like
Wow.
going to town.
Look at all that Bondo.
I know.
Ugh.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah, it looks awesome now. It looks like it's going to pay off.
Rex.
Yeah.
Rex is just killing it, man. Millennium Workshop.
That's cool.
Julius, yep. And Tyler Berry's finally moving in. Look at that.
Man,
There you go.
this
Nice.
dude's collection.
That looks amazing.
Yeah.
There it is there, guys.
Yeah, dude.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's so cool. Beautiful.
Some true building right there.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
That's like one of the 2 walls he has
Right.
done so far.
Right.
Andy, I don't know if you saw the episode with Tyler Berry, but he probably has the largest clone trooper collection out there.
Wow. How many figures does he have?
Oh man, what did he say?
All of them.
Like a couple.
Wow.
Or something. He's
Couple.
So he
hundred.
has thousands.
Yeah.
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 4 of each.
Yeah. Tyler, tell us how many you have again if you're in the chat still.
I think he has several hundred. He has multiples of each.
Right.
Like customizes them.
Yeah, he customizes them. Yep.
He says over 210 just in
Wow.
clones. That's just clones.
Jeez.
Which they're clones. That makes sense, right? They just multiply.
Exactly. He has his own army.
Billy got some pickups.
Hey, there's that little bus. That's that Gentle Giant bus that we've been
Yeah.
looking at, babe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep thinking about it.
And this Tuscan head back here is from Rex as well. It's the one he made.
Yeah, that's sweet.
And I like the lettering. And then Trent, I like RS stuff. Let's see.
Yeah.
Oh,
I love that AT-AT helmet, man. I need one of them.
Oh, that's from Empire Essentials. Yeah, Empire Essentials stopped making the AT-AT.
Trooper helmet is making it.
I'll have
And
to
I'm
check
trying
it
to
out.
think of who else. Yeah, but yeah, definitely.
Empire Essentials because it was breaking, right? Wasn't he having problems
Yeah,
breaking?
that's what he said. Yeah, that's what Matt said. They were breaking during shipments. So
Yeah, they didn't travel well.
Right. Okay. Well, those front greeblies that are in the helmet. I mean, yeah, those things have got to be really fragile
Yeah.
up at the top.
yeah,
K2SO needs one of those too.
Henrik. Yeah. Oh, damn.
That's the McCory
Right.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sideshow RMQ.
That's
Damn,
nice.
dude.
Nice.
Wanted that one for a long time.
I'm telling you, this style of helmet, when he drew it, is definitely has that German Nazi-ish feel to it. And it makes me think of the, if anybody's seen American Werewolf in London.
I was just going to say the same thing.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
when
yeah,
the
yeah.
soldiers come in, it has that look to it. Big
Yep.
time.
Yeah, he had that crazy dream.
Mm-hmm. And
Yeah.
then the dream in the dream, that was the first time I ever saw anything like that, where it was a dream and then he woke up from that dream. Yeah, it was a great.
Didn't Rick
part.
Baker do that?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Evan, this is why I sold my Fett to you because I figured like, nope, not going to go after these. They're too expensive.
So you're
So
like,
according
well,
to Triple S, he thinks Moncal makes the best AT-AT helmet, or as he would say, AT-AT. But yeah, it's AT-AT.
I like Moncal's
Hot Toys one? It is the Hot Toys one.
Yep. 20th anniversary stuff is shipping.
Yeah, mine's finally shipping.
Nice.
Where it take forever these days.
Shop by Me just announced they have a few of them in stock.
So Matt Hess. Let's see Chris Elliott.
Oh, that's cool.
Nice. Now, is that K2SO or the new one?
It's a KX. And
That's the new one. It's got the scuff marks on it.
It looks good. It looks really good.
Yeah. The weathering's really nice.
Do you like it, Joel? Was that a good figure?
Yeah, I love it.
Is that a Hot Toys or Sideshow?
Hot Toys.
Hot Toys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I used to have that and I sold it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sucks.
I put it on eBay, and within 5 minutes it's sold.
Wow.
Yeah, man. It's
We should make a song for all the collectors. I used to have that, but I sold it.
No. We'll probably make a fortune. I say that all the time.
That's a T-shirt. You guys could sell it.
I used to have it. Keep it in the box. I used to have it.
In the box.
Yeah.
Let me see. I think David said he had posted something somewhere. Let me see.
Seeing that jetpack reminded me of the one from Man of War that I've been wanting to buy. Now it's sold out. Looks like it.
Oh, so David said he's at the Directors Guild tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, I sold my baby this week.
Oh.
Grogu?
Yeah, I sold Grogu.
Why?
Where was he? Was he just sitting in a box? Was he like, I need your shelf space. You're moving out.
Yeah, I needed shelf space moving out.
You're 50. Go get a job. That kind of a thing.
Some good
Yeah,
Mando
that's cool.
shots.
Oh, wow.
Is
Look at
this
that.
life size? No.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
This is all life size.
It's life size.
Wow.
Yeah, they have a display at the Directors Guild. So David went to this like special screening of some episode, and they're gonna have some of the writers and directors there to talk about it.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Nice, Rex.
Ruby.
Yeah. He says Tusken Raider helmet for Billy's photo was his first Raider helmet. It was a blast to make. Yeah, it looks great, man.
Tusken Raider helmet for Billy's.
Whoa. Hello. Delay.
Yeah, and he says David said like this stuff is free for guild members. So if you're a guild member, it's first come first serve. You just show up.
Cool.
Wow.
Wow, you can take that home for free?
Oh, no,
No.
the shows.
I'm just kidding.
They got some close-up shots, man. You just see how they just glue this stuff on there.
Right? It's so, I mean, I'm sure Andy will tell us much about it, but the movie magic, we think things are a certain way and they're not,
And sometimes they're just slapped together, and it depends on what scene you're doing. If it's long distance, we just use, they're not beauties, so they're not close-up, so they don't have to be perfect.
Right.
And when you look at some of this stuff, you're amazed how bad some of this stuff is, but it looks great on film.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the things. We only have a certain amount of time to do stuff, and sometimes they up the scheduling for it could be sometimes 2 weeks. So now you're working 7 days a week. Putting in almost 18 hours a day.
Right.
So there's so much we could do.
Yeah.
But like sometimes the effects can sell it too, because if it's if it's plastic, but you get the metal sound that's in the effect, boom, and
exactly.
You automatically go, oh, that's metal, that's heavy, whatever.
Right.
Move Andy up.
Cool.
Let's see. All right, Andy. So we're gonna switch over to your segment now. So everybody who posted this week, thank you so much. Yeah, that's it's actually one of the fun parts of the show where we get to just talk about everybody's collections.
Yeah.
Living vicariously through you guys. So now, time for some Andy Meyers special effects props. So for those that don't know Andy, for his friends that are watching for the first time, thank you for being here.
Yes,
Andy,
thank you.
Andy's worked in Hollywood. He's been in a bunch of films, and I'll let you talk about the films. He has his own business, and he's building some Boba blasters and pistols. So we'll talk about
Boba Fett blasters, both versions, ESB and ROTJ, and going to be doing Jango Fett pistols, a pair of them, and I have the Pulse 40 pistol that Boba Fett used in Empire Strikes Back.
Nice.
So I'm going to do a run on those, and they're really nice. I sent Evan some pictures. The barrels are all CNC, the aluminum. I used to have a real one, so I went full bore. I had a friend of mine make an oval steel jig so I could press aluminum tubes into an oval. So it's just like the real thing. And then I have another friend that has a CNC shop, and he's actually making the barrels and end caps for me, and they are spot on.
Nice.
So all the props I do, I try to get very accurate, screen accurate. Like the Boba Fett blasters that I make, I actually have that I got years ago, a real Webley Scott World War I Webley Scott flare gun.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it has my name in it. That's really cool.
Oh, they're really nice. And I spend a lot of time, all the parts are separate. So I build the thing like the real thing. Everything screws together with real vintage screws, have all the original Griblies.
You make it accurate. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because they're guys, like yourself, they want high-end screen accurate stuff. So, I try and get as accurate as possible. And
there's also that weird balance, right? Because like on some things, again, like I was talking about movie magic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Things may look heavy, but they're light as can be.
Right.
Or the opposite. So you're like, oh, I'm going to get this blaster. And let's say the movie one was made out of cardboard.
Right.
So which way do you go? Do you go with okay, it's going to be accurate to the film and it was made out of cardboard, or we all thought it was metal, so I'm going to make it out of metal, kind of a thing? Which way do you
go? Most of my stuff is high impact resin.
Okay.
There are pieces where I do have it CNC'd aluminum just because it looks better. For example, like the tube for the ESP blaster, which I could show you.
Yeah, please.
I got it right over here. I don't know if you can see that. That's all real aluminum.
That's cool.
Right.
And this is old school.
That's the MPP look, right? That was the Vader saber part.
Yes.
That's on the end. Yeah.
So I have a real one. So I mic'd it out, and then I get the same size aluminum tube, same wall thickness, and then I put it on my milling machine with rotary table. So I'm doing all this by hand.
Wow.
But all the holes and the ovals are all very accurate.
Wow.
And then my signature is actually in the real movie, there was nothing inside. And this is actually part of the Highland tube, and that's actually where the flash bulb used to go. So what I did was I made one because I thought it looked more interesting to have. Here, I'll show you if you can see that. It looks more interesting than a blank tube.
Yeah. Right.
And if someone doesn't like it, they can pop it out. But so far, everybody loves it. It just adds an extra little thing of detail.
Yeah. No, exactly. And you're answering the question that I was coming with. You're taking it to how you think it should be, right? And then you have the option to pull out of that. Yeah.
Well, being in special effects, I was in special effects for over 40 years. And hard to believe. But I know when we had time, and I know if they had time, they probably would have done that, but I know they were on a certain scheduling. They had, there's a lot of variance, why maybe they didn't do it. It could be budget, time, they needed it right away.
Right.
And that's happened to me too, where, we wanted to put more detail in it, but we just didn't have the time and we had to go on set.
That's hard to do. I mean, it's like, I'm also a cabinet maker, or was a cabinet maker. And it's like, even if you're building a model or you're building something else that you want to do a good job and you're running out of time. And for the movie, like you said, you're not going to see it. Don't worry about that little detail. Don't worry about this. But it's hard to separate because you're like, no, it's supposed to look like this. I need to do this.
Right.
So it's like, again, another balance thing that you got to figure out. And I mean, coming into this trade and what you do, I class it as a trade because it's amazing at what you can do. That
it's very hard, you know. I mean, I started out basically in high school doing some professional work. Like last week with Guillermo, he knows Larry Hama from Larry was the chief editor at Marvel Comics. And I knew him as a kid. I was still in high school.
Oh, wow.
And we're still good friends. And he got me a lot of work. And he showed me kind of the industry, you know, to go into. So...
At what point did you realize, oh, I don't have to worry about that because it's gonna be 20 feet away. I don't have to worry about this. I don't have to...
You know, to be honest, it's all, you know, I was always about attention to detail because I still build, you know, as a hobby, model kits and dioramas. I used to go to a lot of model contests all over the country and won best in show for my stuff. So, you know, I had this mindset, you know, it has to be perfect, you know. But in the movie industry, you have to kind of, I guess, cut yourself off. It's, you know, it's nothing personal,
right?
You know, so that's the factor that you really. It took a while, but you know, after a while, it's like, all right, you know, if that's what you want, you know,
you start to learn. How is this a hero one, or are we just no? Don't worry about it. Okay, here, close enough. Get it out.
Right.
Yeah.
And a lot of times they would tell us, hey, this is a hero. This has to be perfect. It could be even bigger, you know, than actual size. So for example, like on the original Terminator, I didn't work on that, but when I was at Stan's, they had just the eye where the iris went in and out, and that was large size. I mean, that thing was huge, and people don't realize that was, you know,
massive.
That wasn't
it
was. It might have been 15 times its size. So there's a lot of trickery, you know, in special effects. And I've done stuff like that too, where, you know, it was oversized, where they really had to have a close-up and very detailed.
Hey, Andy,
makes a lot of sense.
Real quick before we get too far, can you tell everybody, you know, who you are, you know, what company you used to work for, and what movies you worked on? What are you doing?
Okay. Well, I'm Andy Meyers. I've been in... I was in special effects for over 40 years, started in the early 80s, and I've worked my way up to Stan Winston Studios.
Oh, wow.
Pretty big.
And that's still like a dream come true. I mean, I was always a fan of Stan's. I remember probably the first movie he worked on was Gargoyles, and he did the suits of these gargoyles, and I was just... It was on Creature Features on TV, and I was just amazed. So I was always a fan of his, and never thought in a million years, you know, many years later, I would work for him.
Right.
And that was through connections too. I'm still good friends with John Rosengrant, who was basically second in command at Stan Winston's, and then he moved on. He owned Legacies. And they worked on, you know, all the Mandalorian stuff.
Right.
But when I was back then, I was on the East Coast. He was on the West Coast, and he also owned a company called Warriors, and they were a model company. And he did fantastic sculptor for military miniatures, and he hired me to do miniature weapons because I was very good at that. Do it, you know, for model kits. So we had a great rapport. He was on the West Coast, I was on the East Coast, and at the time I was working for a research and development company, and they went under. Then I called him up, and he was like, "You need to get your butt out here." He's like, "I can't promise you anything, but you'll do very well," because back then I already had many years' experience in special effects. So I flew out there, saw him, finally got to meet him in person, and he's like, "I can't promise you anything, but we're bidding on a job right now, and it's for Spielberg." And it just so happens it was AI, artificial intelligence.
Wow.
Yeah. So I moved out to California. I had the money. I moved out within a month. I found a place, that also allowed my German Shepherd because there was a weight restriction. So it was just me and her, and we moved out there, and it was perfect timing. And got to work at Stan's. He got me in, and
that's so cool.
It was. I'm still in awe of meeting Stan. I mean, he was such a. For me, he was such a superstar because he's done such phenomenal movies, you know, and broke records doing the impossible. So I was like awestruck, you know, with him.
Yeah.
And then I got to know him, and he got to know me, and I proved myself over there too. That's the thing, you know. I got my foot in the door, but now I got to do the work.
Right.
And a lot of people, they can't do the work, or they can't take the pressure. I was fortunate where, you know, I worked on many commercials and movies in the past, and basically the more pressure there is, the better I got.
Mm-hmm.
So I was very honored, you know, to actually work for Stan, and worked on a lot of stuff on AI. I worked on Teddy, the little teddy bear.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And worked on a lot of the internal stuff, like not the servo part, but all the metal parts that went with the servo. So we had blueprints, and yeah, there you go.
Wow.
There was like, I think there was like 22 micro servos just in his head.
Dang.
Wow.
Yeah, it was amazing. I had blueprints, and these blueprints were even more tighter than military spec blueprints. I mean, I've worked with the military before, you know, doing prototype models. So these things had to be like plus or minus 1/1000. You know, all these little parts I had to make in the machine shop. And then I worked with Haley, and I did this whole operation scene. I had to do his all these little futuristic cards that came up, and basically the people who haven't seen the movie, Haley was a mecha robot. He thought he was a real boy, and he ate real spinach, which they're not supposed to eat. So that's why he's in the operating room, and his chest was open, and all these futuristic cards were popping up, and it had real spinach. And I'm actually right off camera here with the my servos popping these cards up as they're cleaning it.
That's cool.
Wow.
So then one of the cards jams, and I'm on set, and there's probably, you know, there's over 100 people from, you know, lighting and everything. So Stan calls me over. He's like, "Hey, you know, can you fix this?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "How long will it take?" So I'm like, you know, just take a few minutes. And inside, I'm shitting in my pants, you know, because now everything stops.
Yeah.
Everybody's staring at me, you know, and they don't care because they get paid by the hour, you know. So they're just waiting. So I'm fixing this car, you know, this little car that jammed, and I'm thinking, I'm praying to God, you know, I could fix this because now, you know, Stan's relying on me. And then all of a sudden, I feel two people behind my back. One is Stan, and the other is Steven Spielberg on my back.
Oh,
And they're like, "How long is that going to take?" And I'm like, "Oh, just a few minutes." And I'm like, "Oh my God," you know, I'm just like,
That's special.
I'm like freaking out, but on the outside, I'm just cute, you know, calm as a cucumber. And I actually fixed it faster than I thought I was going to be. And so I get these two pat on the back, you know, Steven pats me on the back and Stan. So that made my day. You know, I fixed it faster than I thought it was going to be. So.
At that point, you're like, I'm never washing this shirt or my back.
And I was just like thinking, oh my God, I'm so glad I came through, you know, because you think about it, you know, when everything stops, you know, time still keeps clicking and people are still getting paid. That's why things cost, you know, so crazy and stuff, you know, for movies. So, yeah, that was my claim to fame with that. So that really made my day.
That is freaking awesome. That's cool, man. I mean, it could have totally gone south. in 2 seconds.
Exactly.
You know, and
But
it didn't.
that's
Yeah.
you know, and also Stan handpicked everybody to go on set. It was it's a privilege because you get your shop rate, but then you get your set rate, which
nice.
I was a little bit naive, being because California has unions and stuff. I got grandfathered in because of Stan, working for him.
Yeah.
But the pay scale is way tremendous. So when he told me what I was getting, I was like, "What? Please repeat that, please." I mean, it was astronomical. But he handpicked everybody when they went on set because there's a lot of pressure. You have to be on your A game, and we worked many hours. When I was working on AI and I was on set, I was literally working 18 hours a day. So I got maybe a few hours of sleep at night.
Wow.
It's crazy.
And we filmed. I was involved with Flesh Fair, with all these mecha robots getting destroyed and stuff. It was like a demented carnival, And they filmed it at the where the Spruce Goose was at the dome next to the Queen Mary.
Yeah, Long Beach.
Yeah, and that place is huge.
Yeah,
and I mean it was phenomenal. I mean the set people, they did a phenomenal job, building these sets, and it's like over a couple of acres. So we had like the best caterers there because of Spielberg, and I ended up losing. I probably lost like at least 10, 15 pounds, and I ate very well. They had caterers 24/7, but it was just running around, the stress.
Oh yeah, 18 hours. Yep, the whole thing. But the thing is, it's like if you could go back and change that and be like, nope, you can only work 8 hours a day. How far would you have gotten, right?
Not far.
And would you have traded it? Would you go back and do it? No, I mean, I think you're the type of person. I mean, my wife is like this. I'm like this. A lot of my friends are like this. You just do what you got to do until the job's done.
Yeah,
you don't think about it. Yep. You just do it.
That's the key. You don't think about it. It's nothing personal, and you do what you got to do.
Right.
It's. I'm not comparing it to combat, but you got to be on your A game, and you just pull forward.
Right.
And you can't think about your personal life or anything. You just have to focus what you have to do. And there were things, we had a 18-wheeler. It was a huge. It was an 18-wheeler, but it was our shop. We even had a machine shop in there. We had extra. Cool. We built multiple copies of stuff because, being in Long Beach, Stan was in the shop was in Van Nuys. So you can't go run back to the shop, if you have to fix something. So we built multiple copies of stuff in case they broke. Or if we had to fix it, we could go in the machine shop, or we had extra pieces and stuff like that. So, it's high stress, but I loved it. I wish I could be there again, but the way the industry is, the way it is today, it's so different from even when I worked.
Right.
With the technology.
Things are made differently. Materials are different. Other ways. Yeah, a lot of that stuff. And then they also probably have more guidelines now, or rules, or certain things you can't do, or I don't know if that comes into play.
I think it's the technology with like 3D printers. Like,
gotcha.
Legacy's had these multi-million-dollar 3D printers. Before, when I worked, a lot of the stuff was just made by hand. Just get down and dirty, a lot of Bondo and filling and sanding and finishing. And then when you finish the master, you mold it. Now they can 3D print stuff.
Right.
We were on the edge of that a little bit with AI. We had some stuff 3D printed, and it took a long time. And some of the stuff was like, I could make this faster than the 3D printer could, So, and I learned old school. I started pretty much, when I got out of high school, my parents were like, do you want to go to college? And I said, not really.
No.
I said,
Yeah.
You know, I want to do special effects, and luckily my mother was in the effects. Well, she wasn't. She was in the movie industry. She worked for United Artists and Lord Grey Productions. So she kind of showed me the direction to go into. And in fact, one of her friends, Lois, was really big in the industry. And this is when I was still in high school. She got us press tickets to go see a screening of Star Wars.
Oh, wow.
So I actually saw it with my mom a week before it actually came out to the public.
Whoa.
And it was at a famous theater called the Ziegfeld. It's still there in Manhattan. And that really changed my life. I said, after the movie, I said, that's what I want to do. And Lois is great.
No, I was saying Janine is from New York too. So she
That's right.
knows where that's at.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I had
that's
her
where I
shipped out.
started out. Manhattan. You know, I was born and raised in Manhattan. So
So seeing it before everybody else, there was a small amount of people that actually saw it before it was released.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts at that time? Wow, mind blown? Or were you kind of like, wow, what did I just watch?
it blew my mind.
Just want to make sure.
You know, when I was a kid, when 2001 Space Odyssey came out, my friend at the time, Fred, his mother, it was his birthday, and she took us to see it. And that blew me away, too. I never understood it, but the models just fascinated me, you know, and I was just a kid. You know, that was back in the 60s. And that kind of changed my life. But seeing Star Wars really changed my life because since I built a lot of military models and, you know, doing distressing and weathering, I loved the way they did, you know, the ships and, you know, all the costumes were all, they were battle used. Yeah, they weren't pristine. Yeah. And that's what really I loved about it, too. You know, it had age.
2001, Star Trek, 1999, Buck Rogers was later. But all that stuff, all space was clean and perfect and spotless and sterile. And Star Wars was like real.
Yeah.
That's just how
it was like they really used this stuff. I mean, the models they used in 2001 Space Odyssey was gorgeous. And it still holds up today. But it was very clean. You know, the ship was clean. All the spacesuits were very pristine, like they were brand new. And, you know, Star Wars is down and dirty, which I loved. You know?
Yeah, and I think if I heard it right, Lucas was looking, the model makers that did 2001, he was trying to get for Star Wars.
Yeah.
And it didn't work out, thank God, because if it did, that stuff would have been shiny and
exactly.
Would have sucked.
Yeah. And I got lucky after Star Wars. Lois got me in contact with Lorne Peterson. And this is before I got even in the industry. And so I had a phone call with him, spent over an hour with him on the phone. And he was giving me tips that I'll never forget. He's like, learn as much as you can. You know, don't be just a model maker. And that's what I did, you know. I mean, machinist, pattern maker, mold maker, casting, you name it, I've done it. Because he's like, you'll be more valuable at a studio than just doing one thing, because you'll do multiple stuff that they don't have to hire. So I took that to heart. And many years later, when I was working on Terminator 3, I also worked with Dennis Murin.
Nice.
They did all the CGI. So that was an honor too, you know, meeting Dennis. And so we were at break and I told him the story. And he thought that was great. And I did call Lorna when I got a job at Stan's. I said, I don't know if you remember me. I was just a kid. He's like, yeah, vaguely I remember. He's like, what are you doing now? I said, I got a job at Stan Winston Studio. And he was like, oh, man, that is fantastic. So, and I told him, I said, you know, I took all your advice to heart. And,
that's cool.
Worked my way up to the best of the best.
That's cool because for them that they enjoy hearing that just as much as helping. And Lauren, I've listened to plenty of interviews with Lauren. You can tell he's not only a talker, but he's just willing to share.
He is, and he's very genuine too.
And there's a lot of people out there, and even people I ran into in the cabinet industry of all things, that were very close to the heart, close to the chest. I'm not going to tell you; those are secrets, And it's like I'm so tired of that kind of thinking. Everybody help everybody out, If they do you wrong, don't help them again. That's fine, but be open, and it's cool that you got that and were able to pass it on.
Yeah, and I have. I've been supervisor at a lot of, special effects houses, especially in New York. I worked my way up. My first job in Manhattan was a small mom and pop company called Manhattan Model Makers, and they were great, and I learned a lot. And they were very small, but we did a lot of commercials and still shots. In fact, one of the really cool things we worked on was this robot, and it just so happens it was the robot for Rocky IV.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So this company, I think it was called International Robotics, hired us to do the external parts of this robot. They did the internal computer parts. So I learned a lot, and we made a bunch of these. And one went to actually a disco in Pennsylvania called Pulsations. Pulsations. And they had this disco. It was crazy. It was like the largest disco in the United States. But they wanted this robot and they wanted this spaceship. So we built this huge spaceship, and this robot came down and did this whole act and stuff. And then one of the robots just so happened to go to Rocky IV. Wow. And I didn't realize it till I saw the movie. I was like, oh my God, that's my robot. I worked on it. I built that thing, old school. So that was cool.
That's very cool.
And then I worked my way up after Manhattan Model Makers. I heard about a shop called Aoki Studios, and they were real big. And they did much big budget commercials and stuff like that. So I stayed there for a few years. And then I heard about Broadcast Arts. And they were like the shit. They were like the largest on the East Coast. So I got a job there, which was great. And we did the first 2 seasons of Pee-wee's Playhouse. Remember the Saturday morning?
Yep.
Yeah.
We're the Star Wars version of that.
I worked on Cherry and Globey, and I built Pee-wee, little stop motion figure in the beginning where he's flying and stuff.
That's awesome. You did that?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And we had 6 sound stages, 2 motion control cameras, like what they had at ILM.
Right.
So so basically we did everything except develop the film. And this is back then where it was reel to reel, where you had a splice and everything, a full editing room. Now everything's digital, So, and then one year I was already working my way up to like chief model maker. So the owner, Steve Oakes, said, hey, he calls me in this meeting. He's like, there's something really big we're getting, and it's called the Bud Ball. And he's like, I want you to be in charge of the models.
Oh, I heard something different.
What did you hear?
What now?
Dolphin.
So I was in my early 20s, and he put me in charge of the Bud Ball.
Here, let me play some video while you're talking.
I think I sent you.
Yeah,
there you go.
Oh wow!
So all this, I was in charge of at least 10 people. I built all the helmets.
I remember all this. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that was actually the biggest and the most expensive commercial at the time.
Wow.
So, and of course, I was nervous because now, this is a big deal. He's put me in charge of all this stuff and a crew. But we pulled it off, and they came out great. And everything was stop motion back then. Today it would be all digital. You wouldn't even see the models. And all these models are handmade. Nothing was grown. Didn't have 3D printers.
Cut it too early. Also, you guys built multiple scenes for this.
Yeah, we built this whole bleacher, and we had something it was crazy. It's 50,000 cans. And we made little cans all the way up to real cans. And it was forced perspective. And Anheuser-Busch wanted us to do a wave of the, which you see in the. So we had to build this special rig for stop motion to do this wave, because we had to click it a little bit at a time. So it was like, and then go back down again.
Oh my God. How long did that take you guys?
Oh, months.
Months? Wow.
Yeah. We spent 8 months at least working on this on 6 30-second spots.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's so awesome.
And one thing was cool. I don't know if you know this name. Her name was Barbara Gallucci. I'll never forget her. And she used to work at ILM. And she was one of the chief model makers for, remember Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom?
Yep.
With the rail cars and Indy's going down, these inside, all that was miniature. She was supervisor on this. And she was supervisor on Return of the Jedi, the forest scene. So I was a very big fan of hers, chewing her brain, oh my God, she worked at ILM, I was like, what are you doing here? It's like, why would you want to leave ILM?
Yeah.
So she was also a chief model maker, because we had multiples, because the budget was so big and we had to do so much stuff. So I actually learned a lot from her too, because she had a lot more professional experience than I did. So
interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah.
That's cool. That whole Bud Light Bowl thing, I mean, the amount of hours, I never thought about it. I mean, I remember watching it when it was on TV and I thought it was cool. But you don't think about, it took 8 months or whatever you were saying, several months to be able to pull that off. But at the same time, I can't help but think of Bud Light back then and Bud Light now. So that's just one that I throw out there. I mean, it was...
Yeah, it was completely different back then. And I do remember back then, we worked on Thanksgiving. And we had a whole professional kitchen, too, because we did... a lot of commercials where things needed to be cooked and stuff. And I remember our director, he was really cool. He cooked us a turkey dinner and stuff. So
nice.
I had Thanksgiving at the shop, So, but those guys and girls were like my family anyway. I spent more time with them than I did with my family.
Well, it's like,
oh yeah, this is the accent. This is an accent commercial.
Oh,
we actually took molds.
Yeah, I remember this. Commercial.
We actually took molds off of real food. So we had professional caterers come in, cook this food for us, and then we were like dunking it in silicone molds and stuff.
Wow.
They were horrified.
Did you, Andy?
When you did the Bud Bowl stuff, did you know who was going to win the Bud Bowl ahead of time? I did. Because I can remember people gambling on that after the first one.
Oh man!
And I have to be honest, it's over 30 years now. I won some money. I went to bars and I knew who won, but they didn't know I worked on it.
I would have been betting them. I would have been like Mario 5.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Oh, that was a big deal. I mean, the advertisement for that. I mean, anywhere you went, you saw you go into a place where you could buy liquor and stuff. You'd see these full-size cardboard mock-ups of the Bud bottle with the football helmet on and stuff like that. And,
I think they even sold the little helmets you could put on your Buds or something like that.
They did.
Yeah.
I actually had the real game ball and one of the real helmets.
Wow.
That was cool.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
tell us
just
about
some movie memorabilia.
Yeah.
tell us about your time with Sam Raimi.
Oh, Sam is great. I love Sam Raimi.
Everybody says that about him that works with him. I think he's one of the greatest people out there.
One of the nicest, kindest, know what he wants, and he likes practical. When Stan was slow, Steve Johnson had called me over for an interview, and he interviewed me, and I got to be one of the chief model makers on Spider-Man 2.
That's
nice.
So I was one of the guys in charge of doing the master patterns for Doc Ock's tentacles.
Nice.
And I have some here that I could show you.
Uh-oh. Yes, please.
Screen use props?
Yeah, this is the actual, and each tentacle was different. So it morphed into a different shape. So we made hundreds of these. And then all that went down to the mold department, and they were casting like crazy.
I can imagine.
You can see the difference.
Oh, yeah.
And these are all cast and then had real plating on it, had real chrome plating.
Jesus.
The art director, I think his name was Jim Atrigan or something like that. British guy. And come to find out, he was very famous. He was the art director for all the Monty Python movies. So I'm a huge fan of Monty Python, especially Monty Python and the Holy Grail, and Jabberwocky and Life of Brian he did, and Brazil.
Wow.
So I had to work
think
with
of
him
Life
every
of
day.
Brian. I think of that one scene where he opens up the shutters. That's just the one that sticks in my brain.
Yeah. And the part where that fat guy was eating.
Yes. Meaning of Life? That one?
Yes. Yep. Yeah, he was the art director for that. Oh, just one more wafer, please.
Yeah, that little mint. Okay. And
Yeah,
then boom, he blows
he
up.
blew up.
Yeah.
That was Terry Gilliam directed that.
Nice.
Part of the Monty Python crew.
Thank you.
So it was great working with Jim.
Beer fun. Thank you.
He made a lot of changes, but they were. You got to know why he made these changes and stuff. I know some guys there and some women, who worked there got pissed off because they're like, we spent so much time on this and now he wants changes. It's like, hey, the way I looked at it was like, exactly. I got paid by the hour. I told them, Jim can make all the changes he can make for life. I don't care. I get paid by the hour. It doesn't matter to me.
For real. I always thought those were CGI'd. That's crazy that they built that like by scratch.
This is one of the castings of the tentacle I worked on. This is the tentacle tip.
That is awesome.
Wow.
Oh, you got a question?
What's that?
Question. How much freedom did they have on Doc Ock's setup? So how much freedom did you have? Yeah.
We had some freedom. We had sketches that Jim did. And there, as we were building this stuff, we would suggest to Jim, hey, this would work better for us, because we had puppeteers, and they had a green screen, so that because they were actually physical puppeteers. We had cable control, and we had remote control. So a lot of combinations of special effects all in these tentacles. And we built multiple tentacles, depending on the shot.
Right.
Like the one shot where you see one of the tentacles light up a match, and Alfred Molina, who played Doc Ock, he's lighting a cigar.
Mm-hmm.
That was practical. That wasn't CGI at all. And a lot of people think it's CGI. And that's one of the reasons why I love Sam Raimi, because he's old school. He loves practical stuff. He's not the biggest fan of CGI. He knew you had to use it, But if we could do it practical, he's like, go for it.
And it's going to sell more too, because everything's going to be more realistic instead of trying to figure out, oh, smoke should go this way and no, it should light up this way.
Yeah,
What?
speaking about smoke, I smoke. And a lot of the people smoke in special effects because, the pressure and the stress.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a good thing. Sam Raimi, he came to us and he's like, I want this part with Doc Ock and the back of his chip fizzles. And he wants this puff of smoke. So I actually told him, I was like, I got a really good idea. And he's like, what? I was like, it's simple. It's practical. I was like, I'll get a surgical tube and I'll just light a cigarette and blow into this tube. I'll hide the tube behind, the chip. So I did a demo. He loved it. And I got to go on set, the last pickup shot for this. So I bought like 3 packs of cigarettes just in case I don't run out. We're over at, I believe it was Warner Brothers, and some of the sets are really old. I mean, they're all wood, wood.
Mm-hmm.
These are like back in the 30s. So, you see signs all over, no smoking, I was the only one that could smoke on set. And of course, it's Sam Raimi.
Badass.
So, everybody's watching me, and they had
walk around set going, yeah.
Well, everybody was pissed off because, a lot of times you just can't go outside and have a smoke break,
Yeah.
So,
people coming up to you, dude, give me a hit. Come on.
Everybody's jonesing, right? So I drove out. I was like, what's great? And everybody's like looking at me, staring at me. I was like, not only get paid for this, but I get paid to smoke. And everybody's like, fuck no. But
that's awesome.
It was practical, simple. We took a bunch of takes, and Sam loved it. And then that same day, they already had posters out of Spider-Man 2. So I bought one. And it was rolled up, kept it with my tool bag. And at a certain break, I saw Sam Raimi's assistant. And I said, hey, you think Sam would mind if you signed this? He's like, let me go check. And back then, Sam knew me really well because, we've been working on this thing for almost a year, and he came in a lot, to the shop and saw stuff. So he knew us. So in the distance, I see him flagging me over. So I go over my poster, and he's like, what do you want me to sign? I was like, anything you want. So he put something, really nice and personal. He said something about be responsible, like from the first movie, with the uncle. And said, so, I did a terrific job with Doc Ock, and, he signed it Sam Raimi. So
That's awesome. Said no smoking on set.
Right. Oh, it was great. I was the only one that could smoke. And we got paid very well for that, but it's just, sometimes it's just the simple stuff that looks the best, I mean, they could have easily CGI'd it, the smoke. John Dykstra was in charge of all the CGI stuff.
Wow. Interesting. So that leads into the Dirge's question, which is, did you work on anything from the Jurassic franchise, or see any of the other stuff at I guess SWS, which would be what's
Stan Winston Studios.
Stan Winston Studios. That's it. Yeah.
So yeah, I got even my hat that honors him.
Nice.
That's cool. And the shirt.
And the shirt. Yep.
Nice. You can't get this stuff anymore,
Yep.
I spend Stan $30 a month for his damn school online
program.
Oh, you
did?
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Because
I worked on a little bit.
I was going to say, J2SO is doing a lot of similar types of things where he's made creatures, he's made props, he's made all kinds of stuff. I mean, his skill is amazing with doing hand detail and everything else. Yeah.
I have a few friends at Legacy right now. One of my best friends was at Steve Wang's old shop back in 2016. After special effects school, I never made the jump to Cali because little scary.
It's
and expensive.
You know, it's really hard. You know, in a lot of ways, it's not what you know, it's who you know. It's very cliquish out there. It's very cutthroat. Even if you worked at that studio before, you're only as good as what you did last time. You know?
My friends that got in are because, hey, my friend's in and she makes eyes for Steve Wang. We need a mold maker. So then my friend got in.
Oh, okay.
And then he got it, so that kind of stuff. So I was like, yeah. So I'll do the theme park stuff down here in Florida.
Right.
That's my thing right now.
It's hard to get in, and I thank a lot of my friends that I met in California and I worked with, and they introduced me to for example, Steve Johnson's.
Yeah.
And so that's how I got into seeing Steve at Edge Effects. And people who don't know Steve, he was one of the creators. He did Slimer for the original Ghostbusters.
Nice.
Yeah. So he's done a lot of big movies. Oh, and he did The Abyss. He did The Aliens.
Oh, yeah. That was pretty amazing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, the effects on that were amazing. They were translucent and they lit up and everything.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's like you were talking just a second ago about getting in. It's hard to get into the industry. Back then, it was even harder because you had to know somebody. Today, you have internet and you can play that game. But totally different thing. You had to be in the right place at the right time, know the right people, and that's how you start to get in.
Yeah, I feel back when I was doing it when I first started back in the 80s, it was a little bit easier. Yeah, and I did a lot of stuff. Commercials.
That was the golden era. 80s.
Yeah. It was. Even
with
some
a lot
B
of
movies.
things, dude. Yeah, a lot of things.
One of my first B movies, and it was a friend of mine who hired me, and I was working at Aoki's at the time. He's like, hey, you want to help me work on this movie? It's a horror movie, and it's real B movie. I was like, I don't care. Sounds like fun. It was called Flesh Eating Mothers.
Nice.
Total B beta title.
It's hysterical. So I helped them on it, just because, it was just experience. And it was, those B movies are fun too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hey, Andy, going back to Dirge's question, did you work on anything from Jurassic Park?
I did a little bit, actually. When I was working on, when I was working on AI, they needed some help with the Spinosaurus. So I helped on that a little bit. And then one day, it was actually a normal day. We got out at normal hours. John Rosengrant comes to me. He's like, hey, can you come in at 2:30 in the morning? And without hesitation, I was like, sure. Because really, in this kind of effects industry, you're married to it and you got to do whatever it takes. So I said, sure. What do you need? He's like, we got the Spinosaur. We got to put him on this flatbed. We just rented out this huge, humongous crane, and we have to tarp this thing to go to, the sound stages. So I got there, like an hour or a half hour earlier, and they had this huge, humongous crane, and we had to lift this thing onto a flatbed and tarp it. And a lot of the times they did this. One, there was no traffic, the LA traffic. Plus, they could get into the studios a lot easier. All this stuff was secret. So it was fun, too. And I got paid for it,
Oh, so you had to transport it through California, through LA?
Yeah, we were in Van Nuys at the time.
Nice.
And then we had to go into LA at one of the sound stages.
What's that, Evan?
You guys had to shut down freeways to transport that thing?
No, it was just so late at night that there was hardly any traffic, and we did tarp it, so it looked like you couldn't tell what was underneath.
Right.
But it was just much easier getting, going through, the 405 or the 5 into the, like Warner Brothers or something like that, to get in there and set him up.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah,
So you've worked with Spielberg, Raimi. What else did you say?
Jonathan Mostow, who directed Terminator 3.
Oh, Terminator 3.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
And I got to go. Well, I worked on the TX, the female.
Oh, wow.
And they were having problems at Stan. Remember when the girl, Christina Logan, her finger turned into a real thin point?
Right,
yes,
right.
yes. Mm-hmm.
Stan actually came to me and said, "Can you make this?" I was like, "Yeah, I can make it." But I said, "I got some special tools at home." I said, "I have a miniature lathe that's very precise, all digital readout and lathe." And he's like, "Yeah, I'm okay with that as long as you don't tell anybody, you know?" I was like, "Oh, cool." So he's like, "Yeah, we need like 6 of these things, 5 or 6 of these." So I ended up making these very fine tapered aluminum points, and then I had to build the housing for it. I had blueprints, and they actually had LEDs in it, and they had to light up. So all these the blueprints I got they had to be tight. I mean, we're talking plus or minus 1/1000. They had miniature bearings in it and everything. So I did that whole finger. I didn't sculpt the finger, but I did the whole metal part, you know, where it tapers and stuff. And happily surprised that when I saw the movie, the screening, it was used a couple of times. So that made me happy, because a lot of times when you build stuff, you could be working on it for months, and then it has like 2 seconds of screen time, and it's like, what?
Yeah.
You know, they spent all those hours for that, you know? So
Did you keep
that
any
was pretty
props
cool.
from that movie?
I did. Then we built.
But wait.
There's more.
There's more.
Yeah.
So then Stan let me go on set for the part with Skynet, when when Skynet's going crazy. They got and I worked on the T1 robots too, by the way, the one with the big Gatling guns.
Wow.
And
Awesome.
there's a part where there's this drone, and I forget the girl's name, but she has an AK-47 and shoots this drone, and then it blows up, and all these parts are like splashed right in your face.
Mm-hmm.
So we had built this drone in parts, and we had this guy, I think his name was Pablo. He worked at ILM, because they did all the CGI. So me and Pablo, we had all these pieces of the drone, and we threw it into the camera, you know, a bunch of times. And Jonathan loved it. Jonathan Mostow, the director. So, of course, since, you know, Stan Winston Studios built this stuff, you know, I was there and had to clean it up. And normally, you know, they after they're done, you know, they have all the film in the can, you know, a lot of this stuff is thrown out. But I thought this was cool. And this is one of the rockets. That's screen used.
Wow.
Oh, that's
It
awesome.
was just thrown on the ground and gonna get tossed.
Yeah.
That's so
And this
cool.
is actually has real chrome plating on it. We made resin castings, molds, and then we had a company in California called Artcraft. And most of the stuff you see in chrome, like all the endoskeletons, Doc Ock, etc., they chromed it because they know how to chrome resin.
Oh,
So, yeah,
Wow.
I put this in my tool bag and kept it as a memorabilia working on Terminator 3.
That's awesome, man.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was great, you know, and it was great working with Arnold. He used to come in the shop a lot. He was best friends with Stan. So we got to see Arnold a lot, and, you know, he loved us and we loved him. I mean, he treated us really well.
Right.
He's a funny guy, you know, you can't help but not like him.
Andy, how are the props coming, man?
Run to the chopper.
Oh, he loves
Yeah,
it.
that's exactly right. You just run up to him and say it. Into the chopper, chop. Yes, yes.
He's a funny guy.
Yeah. There's a new I thought it was a movie, but it was a series.
It's
It's
a
on
reality
Netflix right
show,
now.
right?
Fubar, and it's fantastic.
Oh, it's fantastic.
I have
Yeah.
to
Did a
see
great
that.
job.
I heard it was funny.
Yeah, I've seen him in panels, and the way he's talking in that documentary is how he is in panels. It's like he doesn't like hold back anything.
Right.
He drops F-bombs. He's like, whatever.
Nobody cares anymore.
The last
He's
panel,
like, I've earned it. He's like, I've earned it.
Right.
Well, the last, it was funny. The last panel, because he dropped so many F-bombs. The last panel I went on in San Diego Comic-Con, he had to drop a 20 every time with an F-bomb.
Nice.
So he just
that was one nice thing about working at stands and stuff. You know, I went to Comic-Con many times for free. You know, VIP pass. Because Stan, used to go to the show sometimes too and sign autographs and stuff. So we got in for free. We didn't have to wait online. We walked right in. And I mean, I truly miss him. He was great. He treated us like family, and I felt like I was part of the Stan Winston family. When we would work late, he would buy us dinner.
That's awesome.
He would come up to us and say, "Hey, you want a soda or anything?" And yeah, sure, get me a Coke or something. And he would do it. And he always said, I'm only as good as you guys, which I admire him. And
that's a good boss.
Right.
He is. He always treated us great. And I got to know him. And there was a point where I think it was after Terminator 3, there was a lull. There wasn't much work. And he came up to me and said, "Hey, I think his personal assistant, her name was Lori, I think. Great girl. He's like, "Oh, I heard Lori told me you do fine woodworking." And I said, "Yeah, I do as a hobby." And I had a townhouse and I redid all my cabinets and stuff like that. He's like, I'm getting a trailer. It's like a 45 or 50-foot trailer. I want it gutted out. I want it to be like what I want it to be. And I was like, "Sure." He's like, "You think you could do something like that?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure. I've done a lot of cabinetry and stuff like that, and whatever you want." He's like, "How much would you charge?" And I said, "My hourly rate that I'm getting now at the shop." And he's like, "Really?" I'm like, first, I'm getting a decent amount here, a lot more than the average person. And I said, "If you're keeping me employed, I'm happy."
Right.
And I said, "Oh, yeah, by the way, there's one other thing." And he's like, "What?" I was like, "I want a Stan Winston jacket." And he starts laughing. He's like, "Yeah, I think I can do that." He's like, "Go ask Lori what size you wear and stuff."
That's awesome.
Because that's also a privilege, too.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody got Stan Winston jackets. And for me, this was like a real dream come true,
Definitely a grail piece right there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's like, for me, that's like the holy grail. I still have it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny how certain things like that mean more to you than other things may be, right? It's because of how you've elevated that whole thing and then being part of it. You're like, no, this means more to me than if you were to give me that thing you threw at the camera.
Right.
Terminator 3,
So
and that Stan said, "Okay," and
yes.
I was actually employed. Oh God. It was like a couple months, I was working on this trailer and stuff. And, there was a lull in Hollywood where they hired everybody and there was no work, So I was just very thankful that, I got my hourly rate and, I could pay my bills. And
that's all that mattered. Yep.
Yeah. And also that Stan thought of me, it meant a lot that, he heard, what I did, and he always paid attention to everybody, what they did and stuff. So
that's cool.
I'm very grateful, and I'm still grateful. I still can't believe I worked for him. It's still a dream come true, and I feel very honored. And I also work at Steve Johnson's, and I worked at I don't know if you've ever heard of Optic Nerve with Glenn Hetrick.
Yeah, Glenn's in charge of that now.
Well, it was his company. And he called me, and this way, years before Face Off, when he was working the show, he calls me up, went to an interview, and so I got to work on Return of the Living Dead Part 4 and 5.
Nice.
Yeah. So I built these like They were like mutant babies, and they had like these mechanical things on their head, and then they had these two zombies, and one had a some sort of saw blade on it, and just external crazy stuff. So I got to work on both those movies at the same time.
That's so
know. And then I worked at Jim Henson's Creature Shop. They called me up. And that was another... Oh, I love Jim Henson. In fact, I knew him in New York.
Oh, wow.
And, I never worked there because I was working at Broadcast Arts. But I knew, a lot of the people that worked over at Henson's. So it's kind of a small world. So I get called, and I meet his son. And I told him the story. He's like, oh, man, that's really cool. I knew his father. So he's like, we're doing this TV movie. Would you be interested? And it was the Muppet Wizard of Oz.
Oh, wow.
So they hired me, and then another friend of mine, Joe, who worked at Optic Nerve. So the two of us worked on Gonzo as the Tin Man. So it was him and I built Gonzo.
That's so cool.
So that was really cool. And seeing, all the Muppets and how they actually built these things and stuff. So that was fun. Yeah, and that was in Burbank.
Yeah, that's where I figured, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. So
I got to work.
Randy, we're almost at our 2-hour mark, but tell us the story about Larry Hama and G.I. Joe.
Well, like I said, Larry I've known since I was a kid, and we used to go to, I guess at the time I was working at Broadcast Arts, and it wasn't that far from Marvel. So one day, and we used to have lunch a lot, almost every week. So he calls me up. He's like, hey, you want a G.I. Joe named after you? I'm like, sure. When I was a kid, I had the original ones. I had the 12-inch ones.
Right, with the fuzzy beards and...
Oh, this is before fuzzy beards. This is like the plastic hair and everything. I mean, these were the original ones. They're in the 60s.
By the way, that's the name of my new band, Fuzzy Beards.
Fuzzy Pickle?
I did have the fuzzy head, and I did have the kung fu grip.
Yes.
Too. So Larry was heading up a new version of G.I. Joe, 3-inch. So I'm like, yeah, sure. He's like, all right, well, come down to Marvel. We'll have lunch. You got to sign some release papers. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. So I go down. He tells me all about this stuff. I sign the release paper. He's like, when they're done, I'll give you a bunch. So I was like, cool. Well, I don't know, many months later, he calls me up. Hey, come down to, we'll have lunch again, and we got the, your figures in. I was like, oh, cool. And so it just so happens he named me Footloose.
Nice.
And this is the figure. And in the back, I don't know if you can you see that? It has my real name. So it has your real name, and then and then it has the code name Footloose.
So cool.
Andy,
and he even put my middle initial down.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, how many people could say, they had a G.I. Joe named after you?
That's awesome, man.
Right?
Yeah. I treasure this. I mean, and Larry's always been great. He's always helped me out. And in fact, I think I was still in high school. He called this guy Walter up. And Walter was the creator of the Mr. Bill Show. And Larry goes, hey, there's this kid. He's a really good model maker. You might want to see him. So Larry calls me up and says, hey, come with me. We're going down to the village. And so I met Walter, and I already, had done a lot of building models, as a hobby and, doing these contests. So Walter hired me. So after school, I'm building sets for the Mr. Bill Show for the original Saturday Night Live.
Mm.
So, and back then that was like
Mr. Bill was awesome.
Mr. Bill, that was when Saturday Night Live was awesome.
That's right. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And back then that was like I don't know, South Park Today, you know.
Right?
Mhm.
Everybody loved Mr. Bill because it was so cheesy. It was funny, you know.
And he always got smashed.
Yeah.
Smushed.
Oh, I had to build a remote control Corvette that Mr. Bill had to get squashed. And we had guys.
That was it. Oh no.
Oh, those are fun, you know,
Mhm.
because it was so simple but funny, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And so
we're-
it was great too because I was a big fan of the Mr. Bill show, so it was quite an honor to actually work on that, and it gave me some stuff underneath my belt, you know, some credit before I even got out of high school.
I bet.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do
That's so cool.
a quick giveaway real quick.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do
Star
it.
Mark. So one thing I didn't say, or if I did, I don't remember if I did. I'm a little buzz already.
Models, effects, dog barking.
But
Yeah.
which camera am I on tonight? This one, I think.
Here, I'll get you.
So this is a 40th anniversary. Here it is, right there.
Ooh.
Return of the Jedi poster from Disney
Ooh.
Insiders.
Nice.
So for the community, it's a free giveaway tonight. If you're interested, the hashtag would be #40.
Hashtag 40.
#40 for the 40th anniversary of Jedi. Brought to you by Disney Insiders. So
Hard to believe it's been 40 years.
right? Oh,
Right.
Let me share that screen again. My bad. There it is. Yeah, #40. So if you guys want to participate, #40. It's for the Return of the Jedi theatrical poster. So I think it's a good piece. It's
I think it's an awesome piece.
Oh yeah, it's an
Yeah.
awesome piece.
Also, Evan,
art
if
is-
you're the other thing too is everybody hit the like button if you're still watching.
That's right.
Yeah, right.
Oh yeah, hit the like button. Don't forget to hit the like button.
Spank that like button.
So-
Gently stroke that like button. However Marcel says it, because he's not here.
After the giveaway, we'll talk about the Star Wars stuff that Andy makes, and then we'll talk about me to get some interest to do a special run, and we'll talk about that run there too. And then at the end of the show, we'll give away Joel Hazy's quarter scale tauntaun.
Cool.
So stick around.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see how many people participated. 19. I know there's
We
more
need
than
40.
19 people looking.
I need 40 people for #40. That makes sense.
At least.
That'd be awesome.
Right.
Yeah, we'll give it another 2 minutes, 3 minutes. People
I
are
got some
holding
pictures.
out. Go
I
ahead,
got
Andy.
some pictures to show you.
All right. Hold on. Let me do. All right. You want to show them on there, Andy?
Yeah. Well, after AI, Steven had a huge wrap party for everybody that worked on the movie, and it was at Universal. It was a private party. We had special passes and everything, so you could bring one guest. So at the time, I brought my girlfriend, and on the way to Universal, go to 7-Eleven or something, and pick up one of those disposable cameras, and said, "Here, put this in your purse. You never know." So we're at the wrap party, and I see Steven, Haley, just a bunch of the actors, sitting at the couch, and it seemed like a good time. And back then, Steven knew me because I worked for Stan. So I said, "Would it be okay if I got a picture with you?" And he's like, "Of course." So I told my girlfriend, I said, "The camera you got," I said, "Don't F this up." I said, "Don't put your finger in the lens. I said, this is like a one-shot deal." And take a bunch of them. So that's
Nice.
me in my younger years with Steven.
Wow.
That's awesome.
And then I treasure this because I got a picture of me and Stan together.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's
awesome.
awesome.
That's great.
I really treasure that because, unfortunately he passed away.
Mm-hmm.
And then Haley, who I worked with very closely, he was one of the sweetest kids.
Oh, that's awesome.
So young then. Yeah.
Right?
He was.
He's like
That's how I always
55
picture him,
now.
though.
Yeah.
I know he's an old fart now, right?
Right?
But I got a couple of pictures with me and Spielberg.
That is awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Because I've had people actually tell me they thought I was full of BS and that I showed them the pictures, and they're like, "Oh, okay." I was like, "Why would I've worked on a lot of movies. Why would I want to BS that?" "Oh, well, because it's Spielberg." I was like, "Well, he worked on AI, and I worked on AI. You know, he directed it." So
let's get back to the giveaway real quick.
Yeah. Don't forget, hashtag 40 if you guys want to win this.
Yeah, let's just go with it. You ready for the music start?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. Oh,
Leftos. Congrats.
Give me your info, dude. Congratulations.
That is awesome. That's a cool piece.
Yeah, it is. Matt Ferguson, drawing.
Cool.
I thought my brother was going to win it for a minute.
Oh, nice.
Froze,
Yeah,
froze on it. 88.
What did you subscribe to?
Let's start talking about some Star Wars stuff. So Andy, first of all, what is your favorite Star Wars movie?
I would have to say Return. I know Empire Strikes Back.
Empire.
Okay.
Nice. That's consensus. Except me, I like the first one.
Oh yeah, I mean you can't beat the first one, but the second one just kind of blew me away. You know,
it's amazing. Yeah, the second one's amazing. Don't get me wrong, it's amazing. But I think the first one for me is because it started everything.
Yes.
Yeah. That's where you first saw everything, lightsabers, Vader.
I mean, I know the feeling I got. You know that it's like the best movie you've ever seen and the most different movie you've ever seen. I mean, it was spectacular.
Oh, absolutely.
And it changed a lot of people's lives because of this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. For sure.
Oh, my God. It was a couple hundred people that their lives changed.
And our wallets.
Yeah.
Your wallets, yeah. So Andy, so tell us about your Star Wars side. What do you do with the Star Wars side, your fandom?
Well, you know about the blasters that I make, from Return of Jedi and Empire Strikes Back.
That peanut butter beer is kicking in, huh?
Yeah, I was going to say. You sound like Eben.
On these, the Jango Fett pistols, I actually made those when I was working on Spider-Man 2. And this is years before Master Replicas came out with theirs. So I want to bring it back, and I wanted to do something different where it's not on a plexiglass stand like Master Replicas. So it's more on a frame. And I wanted to do something different where the customer or client, whatever, has a choice of how they want it. Most everybody picks the crisscross.
I love that one.
Yeah. But I have a custom-made plaque for it and everything, and so this way you can hang it on the wall and not, on a big plexiglass base. So I still have to I want to do a run of these, and 20 or more. And that was the original one that I made, and I actually had it. I threw it in the batch with all the chroming we had with Doc Ock, because we had tens and thousands of parts chromed.
Oh man!
So that's how it'll look.
Wow,
that's cool.
Looks great.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
G2SO has your name written all over it.
I was just looking at my Ruby's crappy ones. I was like, I need to upgrade.
Oh, this is just fantastic.
And what I did too was I designed, the way the handle is open. I made a plug that's on the frame.
In there. You can put stash.
No, it's a plug that holds the pistols, so it almost disappeared. So you don't see any brackets or anything like that, but you can still take it off. So if you do cosplay, you can still, use that. You can kind of see the plug there.
Oh yeah.
That is awesome. Wow.
That is awesome.
I always try and design something where, you want to enhance the look of the prop, and you want to make what's ever holding it disappear, because this is, your main focus.
It's so good.
Thank you.
I see how Flex is trying to win these. No, they're not. They're not. I'm not giving them away. But nice try.
So what's this piece right here?
That is the Pulse 40. I had a real one, and so I want to do a run on these, and I have to do at least 20 or more for the machine shop because the barrel is CNC'd aluminum, and it's spot on. My friend who makes these, he's not a Star Wars person, so I had it really explained to him that these things have to be really spot on because there's people that know way more about Boba Fett than I will ever want to know. And I said, they're very critical. So he's like, yeah, all right, whatever. But luckily, he's also a gunsmith machinist, and he works for, he's worked with Daniel Defense. And, they make a lot of weapons. So he knows about, weapons and stuff like that. But he hit that out of the park. So, and I can understand why he wants to do, at least 20 of them because it takes more time setting up these machines than cutting it. And it's also in the material. Once you set it up, you want to do a run, you don't want to do one or two.
You got one right there.
Yeah. Joel's like, I'm down. Yeah.
I'm going to take one too. So
there's two.
We really haven't talked about this. So on the Spice Runners Lounge Facebook group, what we're going to do is we're going to set up 20 slots. And if you're interested in doing this, sign up for it, and we'll talk about payment.
They're really nice, and I'm the only one also who makes that oval aluminum tube. It wasn't cheap to make a stamp, but another machine shop who I work with, they press this under tons of pressure. They get a round, thick aluminum tube and press it into an oval. All the other ones that you see, like they're either 3D printing or they're just casting all this. So I built this thing like the real thing because originally it was a French spear gun during the 70s. And the trigger works. I have a small spring inside, for people like
cool.
Yeah. So that's an actual casting from the actual real one, and I designed it just like the real thing where it really has an aluminum oval tube and aluminum CNC'd barrel and end cap.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that is awesome.
It's all attention to detail, and I try and get as accurate as possible.
Well, if you're happy with it, chances are even the nerdiest collector will be happy with it because you know how people are. And the other thing, too, is with the props, it could also be as simple as, oh, you've got that? Well, what scene? Because scene to scene, it changes, or something.
Yeah.
So these look beautiful, man. Seriously. They look beautiful.
What's the price going to be on this one, Andy?
$1 million.
No, I'm going to try and keep it like $575.
That's right.
What I'd like to do is maybe even with a plaque like the Jango Fett and have a plaque made underneath it.
Mm-hmm.
If I could get enough people, then the price can stay low.
Absolutely, yeah.
So do you need payment up front, or do you do down payment, or?
Yeah, once I get payment up front, then because I got to pay my friend, and that's not cheap because he has to pay for nowadays, especially with metal, the price has gone up, and he has to buy it, and he has to buy sticks and rods, and so I'll have to pay him to lay out all this, depending on how many orders we get.
Yeah, Joel makes a good point. When will we ever get a chance like this again?
True.
Right.
Yeah,
and it's from the real deal,
Right.
For example, like the ESB and ROTJ Boba Fett blasters.
Right. They're totally different.
I have a real Pulse 40 that the molds are taken off. Like, I'll show you. Like this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still working on these. This is for customers. But it's off of the real deal. Has the clean stamp.
Webley. Yeah.
Yes. And
which was what? It's a 19. Is it a 1917 Webley or 19? It's an early 1900.
Yes,
Webley gun,
it's
correct?
The flare gun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Mark. It's a Mark.
Should be like World War One. I thought.
Yeah, it's World War One. So the way I designed this was actually like the real thing. Every part is separate, and then all the screws are all real vintage screws. I don't know if you could see. They're all the correct screws too, and I have a spring in the trigger, so people who do cosplay.
Right.
Plus, I designed these things. The real one, this D frame that it attaches to the body and the stock, the real one's steel. Mine are resin, but they're also reinforced internally with steel threaded rod, so it makes it really, really strong. Because I do have a lot of friends that do cosplay, and they're walking around with these things all day, so I don't want them to break. And not one has broken yet.
Nice.
They handle these things, pretty. They're careful, but it's also wood. Right. And then
Nelson Santino says, I can say I own 3 blasters from Andy, and I love them.
Ah, thank you.
Which is really, really cool.
Yeah, Nelson's a great guy.
Then our J2SO says, Jango's, I'm in. Keep your head on, buddy. Keep your head on.
Well, we can always make you one.
But it's even like the here is the Return of the Jedi stock.
Right, which is interesting because the Greeblies on it are like a plug housing or something. They're plastic.
A British plug on both sides. And this was a some sort of a electrical switch. British electrical.
Oh.
And I got that a few years ago. A real one. And you open it up. It closes, and it was like had these aluminum rivets. So you had to carefully drill those out, and then you open this up, and this is what the internals are.
Oh, that's brilliant.
But this is from the real deal.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Crazy.
And I don't know if you could see like the weathering on it, but it's much different from the weathering of the Return of the Jedi version.
Right, which actually has kit bashed. It was model kit parts that are on the other one. Yeah.
Yep. Which are these.
Crazy.
And then it's
the little scully thing. Yeah, I always say
that's
it as a
actually
face.
part of the Revell V8 engine kit.
Right. So awesome.
And actually, what I did originally, these pieces are flat, and you're dealing with a contoured stock. So me being with all the details and stuff, the master, I actually filled in the edges on the master, so it has this, so it fits perfectly to the contour, so you don't have any gaps.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, physically, it just looks better, Yeah.
And
if they had the time, they would have done this. They just slapped this stuff on, and
that's the whole thing. It's like the thinking behind it. Oh, does that fit? No. Does that fit? Yeah, glue it. Okay, does this fit? Yeah,
Right.
no. Does this fit? Yeah, glue it. It's just crazy. And this one being actual in-world part that was opened up and going, hey, that looks kind of cool. Stick it to the gun.
Right.
Andy, have you sold more of the Empire one or the Jedi?
I think I've sold more the Empire, just because it was the first one. You saw Boba Fett, you're like, oh man, who is this guy? I love his helmet. And what is this cool blaster? And
and it comes with the lightsaber at the front. You have to think of it like that too.
Right. And I'll show you. All the scopes that I make too, they're all aluminum. Nice. So, and I have a guy here in town, a metal fabricator. I gave him a real vintage scope clamp, and he's reproducing it out of aluminum instead of steel because it's easier to bend. But I mean, they are spot on. So nothing is 3D printed. The new scopes, I mean, it's just the little details like these adjustment caps. Today's, it's flat. Back then, it has a taper, the vintage ones.
Right.
So it's all about the little details, and especially guys who spend thousands of dollars on their Boba Fett costumes, they want this stuff accurate.
Oh, yeah. Well, and the other thing, too, that we're dealing with is that a lot of the costume stuff was done overseas. Some of it was here, but some of it was over there, especially the weaponry. It's finding out, and how many years ago? They don't even make that anymore, that kind of stuff. Or I think it was RS Props that did a thing, Find My Parts with the Boba Fett parts that go in the leg. The bottom shin and what it came from and all that other stuff. And it's like, I always find it so fascinating. It's so cool.
Me too. And I like the detective work too.
Yeah.
It's like when they first did the movie, back then in the 70s, and they filmed it in England, they had a wealth of World War II surplus.
Right.
So that Webley Scott flare gun, that was a dime a dozen. Now there are many, many thousands of dollars because everybody knows, Boba Fett used that, and they only made so many,
That's the biggest thing. As soon as something gets identified, a part or whatever, people go nuts over them. Yeah.
Well, here's a funny story. When the book of Boba Fett first came out, the series, I'm going to be doing the new style Boba Fett blaster because I just love because it kind of goes with the vintage. Yeah, and the barrel's different, and the scope is different. So I looked up what the scope was, and I went on eBay that night, and it's a Lyman vintage scope. It's bigger than the scope they used, for on the original.
Yeah.
So I found one on eBay, and it must have been some old timer, because I got it at a steal. I mean, the thing was mint condition. So I snagged that right away. I mean, now he's probably kicking himself because if he did see the series, he would know that that's the scope they used. Because, every time something's used in a Star Wars movie or show, I mean, the price jumps. It could have been, a couple of bucks. Now it's like, hundreds.
Yeah. 100%. Well, it's like all the model kits that damn it, I did it again. Here I go over a third time. All the kits that got bought up once people started figuring this stuff out to try and redo, the Falcon or the X-Wings or the whatever it was, the C-Lab kits, the Formula Ones, the Tamiya kits, all that other stuff. Some of those are expensive. To get one part, you could be spending thousands of dollars on an old kit. And it's because that person knows that you want that for a Star Wars piece.
Right. Yeah, especially some of the Tamiya kits that they're out of production. They don't make them anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I start out with the, the barrel in the beginning. It's just a straight tube.
Mm-hmm.
And then that blue is actually tooling dye that I spray, and I have a special pattern that I already made, and I put it over the tube, and I scribe all the lines and circles and everything, so I know exactly where to mill every time. And then after that's done, I stick it on my lathe, sand it down, make it pristine, and then polish it on the lathe so it looks like chrome.
Nice.
And then after that, I do some airbrushing, and then I do my little scuffs and dings and nicks on it to make it look like, it's been battle used.
Mm-hmm. That's so cool.
So there's a combination of resin.
I also like the part that you put on the inside. That's you never see the inside of the weapon, but that little part, gives it that sci-fi look. That, oh my gosh, where is this coming from?
I thought it looked more interesting than a blank tube. I know.
Very cool. Yeah.
And if you don't want it, you can pop it out.
Yep.
But so far, everybody loves it. And then I also make the custom frames for this too, for each. Yeah, there you go.
Nice.
So you can hang it on the wall, and
that's cool.
And then I also designed it too, where I had these pegs on the bottom where it kind of wraps the sling around so it doesn't hang off the frame. You know, it's little details like that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, there
those
you
look
go.
awesome.
That's
Oh,
amazing.
and that jetpack. Yeah.
Seriously.
Wow.
And I have an old timer here. He does phenomenal leather work. He does purses, he does holsters, basically anything with leather, and he has these machines that are over 100 years old.
Wow.
So he makes my slings, and he makes them out of really good leather. So it's not some cheap stuff you get at Michael's.
Right.
Very cool, man.
That is a great photo.
Oh wow, look at
Yeah,
that.
there you go.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And each one I make, you know, I make it as if it was mine, you know. Each one is individual, and I paint all the little chipping and weathering.
See, and that's the difference from the movie stuff you would do, because the movie stuff doesn't
Right.
require that kind of detail. But for you, your pride, your product, it
Yes.
does.
Yeah.
How long does it take you to make one of these blasters?
I was just gonna ask that.
1 million
start-
hours.
From start to finish, I would say 3 to 4 weeks, a month and a half. Sometimes it depends how many I have, you know, going. If I have a few, I'll do like, you know, a gang run, so I can cast them up. That takes a lot of time. Then I have to clean them up, which is very little. But then I have to do. I tap the holes, threaded holes. Those like right below the scope. Those are real. What are they called? They're electrical outlet clamps right there.
Oh yeah.
Molex connectors. Those are real.
Oh, nice. So you got some parts.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course, like the bronze brass grip, that's all painted and weathered. And the Return of the Jedi and the ROTJ ESP, they're kind of different. And doing some detective work, everybody thought the Return of the Jedi one was black. It is, but originally it was bronze.
Yeah, I can see that.
So what I do is, I don't know if you could see this.
Yeah, I'll bring it up.
Got a key.
I got it.
I'll take
Go ahead.
better pictures. It's kind of hard to see, but it's black, but it has some bronze in it, like the original one. You know, it's just those little things that people don't realize, because I'll do some high resolution stuff, you know, to make sure, you know, the colors pretty
Colors
correct.
match.
Yeah. Oh yeah, here's this is the Return of the Jedi version.
Oh yeah.
It's hard to say. It's dark in your room.
Is it your
There
room?
it is. There it is.
Yeah, dark. There it is. Yeah.
And I'll take better pictures, you know, still shots, and then post them on the forum. But
That's an awesome piece.
It is.
it is. I love both.
Are they pretty heavy? They got some weight.
They do. They weigh about around a little over 5 pounds.
Nice.
So it has a nice weight, and the trigger works for, you know, your guys and girls who like you know, the cosplay and stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So it's not too heavy. You know, it's not like the real one where that thing was like all steel, and I mean it weighs a ton. You know.
I see these pieces as a showpiece.
Oh,
You want to hang it. You want to display it. You're not going to be walking into a con with this. It's too precious.
Well, I do have people that do that, you know. And what's nice is they can, because it's cast from a real one. You know, it's not the real one where they'll consider that as a real weapon, even though it's a flare gun. They still won't let you in.
Yeah,
This is cast. At least you can go in, you know, the show. Because like my friend Nelson has some phenomenal suits he built, and they're spot on accurate. And he bought both versions, and he uses them for the shows.
That's cool.
Hey, Andy, how hard is it to take it off the stand? Like, is it pretty easy? Like, if you want to like pull it
Very
down and like,
easy.
show it off?
There's two U-shaped aluminum or cast aluminum brackets underneath, and I pad it with a very thin. It's a thin foam pad, so it won't scratch. So I build this stuff like, let's say, if Sideshow did this. You know, I want to be as professional and accurate as possible. So I came up with this idea of, you know, I wanted something, a custom frame, but I wanted to enhance the blaster. So I came up with this idea of doing a patina, kind of a rustic patina background for the blaster. And it really fits because it just really enhances the blaster. And then I had the brushed finish plaque made. And I thought about that too, about a lot of collectors like yourself. Most of them have that brushed aluminum look, you know, to your plaques. So I wanted to keep it in the same family. So, you know, thinking little things like that, you know, where, you know, you have high-end collectors like yourself, you know, just keeps it in the family.
Absolutely. No, it's smart thinking. That's really smart.
Yep.
I like the rusted look because it reminds you of like the whole like Jabba scene and like,
exactly.
And right. That's cool.
And I wanted that clean outside, the frame very clean. You know, it's just something appealing to that. And then I put the little rivets on the side to add an extra detail. And even close up, there's, you know, I put little chipping on it and stuff like that.
Well, the black frame like ties it back into being like high-end collectible, right?
Yeah.
You got a mix, right, of things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
To me, it's art. You know, it's three-dimensional art.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
But I've seen, you know, all your displays. I mean, they're gorgeous. I'm jealous, you know, and all the displays that you guys have. You know, they're very, like I was telling Eben the other day, they're all really nicely laid out. You know, very professional, where you can see each high-end collectible that you guys got, and it's not all cluttered like you see some hoarders where they have everything, and they might have a couple of nice pieces, but it gets lost. You know,
Janine, don't say anything. Don't say anything. That's not me. I didn't do that. Yeah.
She has a beautiful display.
I didn't do it. I swear.
But you know what I mean.
One more year, then it'll be a clutter.
Well,
Sorry,
no,
Janine, I
Janine's
don't want you guys to
space
get
is
divorced. That was me.
yeah, Janine. Yeah, Janine's space is beautiful and clean. Mine's still, it's all over the place. Yeah. So, but yeah.
This guy right here.
Well, she's the star of the show.
Netflix. Oh.
Best lighting in the game there.
So tell us about this piece right here.
That's cool.
I surprised Eben with this because I know that a lot of you guys are doing, you know, collecting or making 1/6 scale figures. So a few years ago, I came up with this idea of like, man, this would be really cool to do part of the original, The New Hope, the Sandcrawler. So I had the blueprints. There was a package of different blueprints back, I don't know, many years ago. They had like a package of blueprints, but it was like real blueprints from the original movie. So I actually blew them up to 1/6 scale.
Wow.
And then I went on I think I had the Blu-ray of The New Hope. So what I did was I stilled it on my TV. I had a plasma TV, and I took pictures so I could zoom in. So there are parts that you never really see in the movie, but I have it on this Sandcrawler. So the way I want to design this is the master, and I want to make fiberglass copies with the ground, and you'll have the track, you know, going around and everything. But this way you can hang it on the wall, and you can display your figures too.
That's cool.
So, and now that the Mandalorian, you know, the Sandcrawler was used in the Mandalorian and all that, you could even use Mandalorian figures. So there it is That's a 1/6 scale R2D2. So you can see that's one of the master pattern tracks. So I want to do the bottom where the tracks are kind of embedded in the ground to make it look heavy, but it'll be lightweight. It'll be like actually a shelf to put your 1/6 scale figures on.
That's an awesome idea.
Thank you. I'd like to do a run of that because, I'd have to make a silicone mold, so that won't be cheap. And then my friend who does fiberglassing in town, he's really good. He has a chopper and everything to do fiberglass copies, and then I'd paint them and make this thing look rusted and, different textures, like from the real movie. I'm good at weathering.
That's awesome.
So what's this?
And then this way, it'll be a finished piece that you just hang up, and now you can put your figures on.
Very cool.
Nice. Looks good, man.
Thank you.
Looks very good.
Just trying to think outside the box.
Well, it's interesting because it kind of speaks to that like old vintage like playset too, right?
Mm-hmm.
That everybody had, right? It's just the new version of that.
Right. And everybody, from the New Hope, everybody loved that part where you actually see the 1-to-1 scale sandcrawler. And then you always remember that scene with Luke and his uncle buying the droids.
Yeah.
Eben has all kinds of wall space for his 8-foot ceilings.
Yeah. And that
12-foot
ceiling.
12-foot ceilings. Yeah.
Well, that piece is actually it's a little over 2 foot high and a little over 3 foot long.
Wow.
But it's not that deep, So it's not like you're gonna bump into it, So it won't stick out that much, but you do have relief where you see the tracks and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Very cool.
Yeah.
Now everybody's like quiet because everybody's looking around the room going,
"Can I fit this?" Yeah, exactly.
When's he gonna finish this?
So, let's do our last giveaway. Joel, I don't know if you wanted to come back. I didn't know if you wanted to come back online, Joel, for this one. Okay. So let's.
But with all his 1/6 scale custom figures, that would look awesome.
Oh my god!
Oh, you already sold one to Joel. Trust us.
Yeah, I mean, Joel just did 3 little letters. OMG. I saw that. That's all you got. OMG.
Next giveaway, #50 is the Joel Hazy quarter scale Tauntaun head. This thing's amazing.
Oh, yeah.
That's cool.
I got a life-size version of it, and it's amazing. So I can really tell you this thing is going to be amazing.
Did you get the version Robot Regal one, or?
No, I got the Hazy custom version.
Oh, okay.
So Joel makes one that's his own.
Yeah.
Yeah. Joel, it was a trade that I did with Joel.
Cool.
And it's an amazing piece, but it's different. It's totally different than what Tom does, and it's Joel's way of doing it.
It's Joel's design.
Exactly.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, Joel, he does like 3D printing. It's like mixed media, so it's 3D printed. It has the fur. He does some clay sculpting. So he does a little bit.
And that's an art too. That's an art too to put the fur on.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
#50, everybody. #50.
#Fuzzy Tauntaun.
Well, Joel requested #50 because it's his birthday. So happy birthday, Joel.
Happy birthday.
But Joel's only 48. That would be funny.
48 like 2 years ago.
Right?
My birthday was a few weeks ago. And I turned
birthday.
Thank you. I turned 61.
Happy birthday, man. Well, it's like when you're in your early 30s, 32, 33, you forget how old you are.
Oh, that's
right?
right.
You just totally forget.
A couple of days.
Wait till you turn 60.
Well, I was going to say, and then all of a sudden you hit a point to where you're going to be a certain age that year, and it may be 6 months before your birthday, but you've already been telling people that you're that age.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. So
Yeah, when I turned 60, it was a little bit of a shocker.
Yeah, it kind of hits you. I mean, when I hit 50, I was like, "Whoa!" I mean, yeah, it kind of hits you in the face.
Yeah.
Hard.
Hashtag 50. Hashtag 50. A couple more. I'll hit the spinner at like 25. There's a lot of you guys watching.
That's awesome. No, this has been amazing. I can't thank you enough, Andy. Your stories and everything that's going on has been so awesome.
No, I'm honored that you guys asked me to do this. And
absolutely.
I'm not getting any older, but I do enjoy talking about it. And there's certain things that I remember, when I talk about it, because there's just so much. Oh, here's a funny story. Remember the Ghostbusters?
Let's spin the wheel, Andy, real quick before we get to that story.
Well, I'll let you do the thing. I'll tell you in a minute.
Yeah, Scott, you want to play some music real quick? All right.
MCAS.
Nice. So,
Congratulations.
If you don't follow Joe Hazy, send me your information on Instagram or email eben.thecollector@gmail.com. I'll post it in the comments.
That's awesome. Congrats.
Great prize.
That's an awesome prize.
All right. So, Andy, Ghostbusters story.
All right.
Where are you going?
Did you see the Ghostbusters commercial?
Oh, yeah. Let me put it up for you real quick.
Yeah. And it's only the beginning with the lady opening up for Slimer. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, let me bring it up. My computer decides to react.
Oh, who we got? We got Hazy coming in.
All right.
There he is.
Joe.
You're muted, brother.
Hey.
We'll see if it works. I don't know.
There it goes. That works. Mm-hmm. That's awesome. Oh,
Okay.
and he froze.
And he's frozen.
Quite a delay.
Everybody do the Joel.
So you did the toy commercial?
Yes, when Ghostbusters first came out, and we did Slimer and this lady opening up a cabinet, and her.
Dude, I remember this commercial.
Her hair had these curlers, and they pop out, and it's in the very beginning.
I can rewind it. Oh
yeah, so those are the toys. There it is.
Oh
yes, this is the part I did.
Oh, that's cool.
So I did her hair. You know those party favors where you blow?
That's
and
what I was going to say. That's what it looks like, a
That's
party favor.
Exactly what we used, and we sculpted Slimer. Well, the director wanted him all slimy. And what we used to use, it's called methyl cellulose. It's a powder, and it's what they use for slime. And you can make it thin or thick as you want. So this director wanted a lot of slime, and we ran out of slime. And we were still filming this. So I got some PA. He was young and kind of naive. I said, go downstairs to the pharmacy store and get me a case of KY jelly. And he's like, what's that? I was like, don't worry about it. Just ask for the case.
Just when you get back, try to relax, and everything will be fine.
Don't stop. All of us seniors knew what it was.
And the mom.
And the mom, yeah.
Right. And unfortunately, shit rolls downhill, and I wasn't going down there to get it. Well, he got this stuff, and he comes back, and the look on his face looks to kill. And he's like, you bastard. He's like, you didn't tell me what this was. I was like, yeah, I told you it was a lubricant, and we needed a case. He's like, yeah, I told the pharmacy we needed a case of KY jelly. And he's looking at me like I'm some nymphomaniac.
Right, you're on a different kind of a set. Right?
Oh my god! Yeah.
Why is it so squishy?
Yeah, we're not on Vivid. We're not on a Vivid set or anything like that. So He got it, but then he was pissed. He's like, I'm never going to do that again. I was like, hey, you don't have to. We just needed it really quick, and, that's all we had.
Mm-hmm.
So we used KY jelly, and we smeared it all over Slimer, and the director loved it.
That's
awesome. He did. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
It could have been worse because it wasn't a joke or a prank on the guy. It was you needed the product to use it.
Really needed.
It was legit.
Because that's actually what KY jelly's made out of, is methyl cellulose. It's a powder.
Right.
So like when you see like Aliens, where you see the dripping slime and it's really gooey, they mix less water in it, so it's stringy. Or you can put more water in it and it's like dripping goo,
Yeah.
And you can color it. But we just ran out, so plan B, KY jelly.
There you go.
It reminds me of the movie Old School. You're my boy, Blue.
Funny. So yeah,
you do what you got to do. When you're on set, you got to think real quick and.
Well, we used to play jokes on people. Like you tell the guys, awesome. On the job site, hey, go into the truck and get the toenails and bring those up. Instead of toenailing a nail, like when you hammer it in, you toenail
right.
it. So you get them to go get the toenails. They could never find it. Mm-hmm. Or you'd be like, quick, get the acetone. You hand them a styrofoam cup. Yeah. And they run across the shop and they fill the acetone, and by the time they turn around, it's gone. It's already eaten through the cup. Yeah.
We used to tell people go look for the can of P9P.
Or the left-handed screwdriver.
Yes, the left-handed screwdriver. That's a good one.
Yep.
My dad had a green-handled knife that he used in his office. He was a dentist. And it was a green-handled knife back when he graduated from dental school. But about 30 years later, it was not green at all. And he would get so frustrated with me that I could never find his green-handled knife.
Oh, because it was no longer green. Yeah, but to him,
not
he knew
green
which
anymore.
one it was.
30 years ago it was.
At that point.
Wow.
Yeah, so Andy, where can people find you if they want to get hold of you?
On Facebook, and I'll post some stuff on the Spice Runners.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, please.
Yeah, so I did put a thread in there. I started a thread for you,
Marcel,
and a Facebook group.
And I know I'm friends with a lot of you guys already.
Mm-hmm.
So I posted an interest thread. If people are interested in the run of the Pulse 40s, put your name down. First
in the pair of Jango Fett. So you'll get two Jango Fett pistols.
Okay.
Wow.
With the frame and everything.
Awesome. That's for J2.
Oh, yeah.
He's like,
and of course, I'd love to do that. I think that'd be really cool to do the Sandcrawler. I think especially now with the 1/6 scale figures that are coming out and the custom ones. I think it'd be a really cool addition.
You should also do the part where R2 goes up and you can hook it up to your vacuum, so you can put your active and it goes up.
In
that
fact,
would be awesome.
I'm working on that piece where he gets sucked up in that vacuum.
Right.
As a separate piece, as like a vignette.
That's the deluxe.
That's the deluxe.
Exactly.
That's the deluxe. So then when people buy it, they could say, "Does this one suck?" And you can say, "No, but that one does."
That's exclusive.
Right.
Yeah, so
that's a professional sucker.
We are at time. Andy, I just want to say thank you for being here tonight.
Thank you guys. I had a blast. I'm glad. It sucks that I had to use my phone, but at least it worked.
It worked perfect. It worked perfect.
It worked great.
Yeah.
Thank you guys again for having me. I'm honored, and love all you guys. It's a great forum and great podcast. I always enjoy it.
Oh, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Yeah, we just have fun, man. And it was great that you could come in and just share. Yeah, and just share. It was great.
Well, and that's what I love about you guys is that there's no drama. Everybody's nice to each other. There's no bashing.
From the drama part,
it's refreshing. A lot of these other forums, they're just bashing or It's too much drama.
No, yeah, no. I mean,
and for a lot of guys and girls, it's collecting. And, it's supposed to be fun. It's not a competition.
No. Right. Well, the thing is that you start to network and you start to realize, like kind of what you're talking about. I have a friend that does this. I have a friend that does that. That's how we are here as well. I mean, the amount of talent that is just in the group is amazing.
Yeah.
So.
And that's what I'm all
work
about,
together.
Too,
yeah.
And I've always been like that. Even when kids were like, how do you get it in special effects? And I was very honest with them. I said, don't even go to school for this. I said, if you can be an apprentice at an effect shop, you're going to learn real world,
Yeah.
and you're going to learn by the masters. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be more beneficial to you than going to some school, I mean, there's certain things, now, like, with CGI and stuff, that's a little different. But, for sculpting or, stuff like that. I mean, even Stan had that. He had apprentice come in. And they learned a lot because at least they got their foot in the door. And they're working with professionals.
Well, I'm sure J2SO's learned a ton being out on the job and being forced to kind of do stuff.
Yeah.
More than I did at school, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I just want to thank everybody.
And that's how I learned, real world schooling by the masters,
Evan, I'm trying to push for 3 hours. We only have
I know you
to
are,
go.
dude. I gotta go take a piss. I'm over here. I'm about to pee in this. Andy, thank you for your time tonight. Janine, good to see you again.
Thank you.
And thank you guys too for everything.
Jeff, Flex, Joe, thank you again.
Thanks.
And for everybody who won a prize tonight, get a hold of us. We'll send it out your way.
That's awesome.
And keep up in a Facebook thread. I did put a Facebook group. I did put a thread in there for the blasters if you're interested. And
that's awesome.
First come, first serve. We'll put your name in there.
Absolutely.
So until then, everybody have a good weekend and may the force be with you.
Thanks, guys. Have a great weekend. Thank you again.
Bye,
don't leave, Andy.
Don't leave. Stay.
I won't.